Hello and welcome to Too Easy eSports Tournament. And today we have a show match for you. Two show matches. The first match being against Team Aegir versus Team Yesman. Yesman has previously played in PKG, and Aegir, personally for me, your host, Shad, is an unknown potential. For my co-host, we have Mr. Turbo here as the server organizer and the tournament organizer.
Hi, I'm Turbo. I'm your analyst for today, and I'll be duo casting with Shad.
The one and only. So, as our analyst, do you have any expectations for either of these teams?
I mean, today we're talking, like for the first match, we're talking about both very high elo teams. We're talking about Aegir, which is a 4.3k team, I believe, as well as Yesman. They're also very, very high. I think 3.9. I don't actually know exactly, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great Overwatch. We're talking very, very high tier Overwatch. I'm very happy to see both of them.
Yeah, I can agree with that. As in PKG, I am also known as one of the most fun to be around referees, and I have refereed with the Yes Men. And I gotta say, as a referee, they are a very nice team. They're very respectful, but they're also fearsome and they're really good. It has been such good games to referee. It's always the blast, always surprises. Uh, on another note, Turbo, as this is the one of the first official streams of our organization, do you have anything to tell about how it has been to organize this tournament and where did the idea come from?
The idea was actually pretty random. I thought, I don't know, I did it before with like pretty like in a community with just teams with like teams from the community with like 5 teams, which didn't really work out well with like Excel spreadsheet organization. I thought when I joined 2East that it wouldn't be that much harder to do it like a proper way, but turned out it took us like multiple months to get all of this stuff sorted out. But now we're here. Looks pretty good. Tournament next week. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'd really appreciate you guys signing up for the tournament.
And on another note, if you have any teams that do fall in between the team average of 0 to 3.5,
3.5.
feel feel free to join the tournament. You know, even if it's intimidating, as a bronze team going against possibly a diamond team, that is just a concept. You may team up with your friends who the only point is that your team average is between 0 and 3.5, which should be easy enough, especially if you're on the lower end. You really can't go lower than 0. But my point being, feel free to join, and maybe, just maybe, you'll hear me talk about you.
Maybe. Okay, so we now got our first map. We're playing King's Row. That's gonna be an interesting one. I feel like that's gonna be very interesting to see the map, especially because of both teams probably running very meta. So I do expect both of the teams to actually run Aegir. Let's hope to see some good Overwatch, should we?
Oh yeah, especially with Hawk has got an A buff, right?
Yeah, he got his new damage buff. He's pretty broken right now, I feel like, at least my opinion, and I do think that we should be able to see some double off tank today, at least. I
Oh
do
yeah.
think this is gonna be great Overwatch.
Oh yeah, like as a team player myself, I can definitely tell that it has been a trouble trying to figure out what is the new meta, especially because it's so roadhog driven and we're so used to double shield. But I I'm very excited to see, the off tank meta because off tanks they have such fun dynamics, such fun abilities. I feel like this match, especially on such high tier, it's gonna be push and pull, you know, quick action, fun time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just tanks are having a great time. Other like off tanks are having a great time, but main tanks suffer. But every meta has those kinds of stuff. Has that kind
Oh,
of stuff.
of course, especially Porzea, that has not been in meta for ages.
And we're going into the map now, as
Yes.
we already said, King's Row.
Welcome to the heart of London, with its narrow alleyways and high grounds. What do you expect? Do you
I
have
mean, we have
any?
Yes Man on attack and we have Aegir on defense. It's gonna be interesting. We do see a Rhine here on the defense with Rhine, Lucio, Moira, Cree, May. That's like it's a pretty standard comp that used to be played. Like Rhine is just very standard for this map. But I don't know if that's gonna be the best choice in this meta. We will
No, the
see.
the
But I'm
shield.
very surprised for the attackers composition. Oh, they're running a Bastion strat. Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Are they
Uh,
running Bastion without Symmetra? Oh no, they were debating us. They're running Tracer, it seems.
but I'm
What do you?
still surprised about the Orisa Monkey. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
actually what they're going to play.
yeah. I was gonna ask you. Like, I know Lexu is a huge fear to trade them
Okay.
as Orisa, but unfortunately they switched to Zarya, which meta pick.
Yeah, pretty meta pick. They're still playing Break.
I'm actually surprised no one picked Hog.
Yeah, me as well. Me as well. Well, so we do see a normal monkey going in. Monkeys going in behind. Ryan
Yeah,
is looking for his engage. Ryan is
yeah, but
engaging.
oh, just going right in with the loser speed boost, huh? Cleaning up, quick and efficient. So if you want the efficient cleaning, just call Tim Meyer to clean your bedroom. Should work out well. Oh, oh, Bukala of Yes Men is on the flank. Do they have anyone in front of? There it goes. Back to the back line for the healers, scaring them off, and
That's
forcing.
first pick secured for Yes Man.
Yeah,
Looks like they're
approach.
making a second point and winning this point for now.
Huh, another sweep. Efficient and clean, I gotta say. I used my cleaning job way too early. Uh-oh. It seems there's an interference on stream right now. At least, never mind. I'm back on track. As
Yeah, Yes Man advancing very far and denying a lot of space from Aegir right now, which looks very nice. They do get a lot of free card space through that. Oh, the early graph.
yeah, they hacked Diva, so it was safe to use.
Okay.
Oh,
They just used 3 ults from Aegir and it looks like they're still losing. They already lost the Rhine. There comes out the call lessons.
don't forget the payload, guys.
Yeah, they do get a lot of free space just from advancing so far.
Oh
So I
yeah.
don't think it's going to be a problem for them. But we do
No.
see that Aegir swapped over to the dive. So they were not really happy with the Rhine here.
Oh no, and it's gonna be
EMP comes
futile
in.
with the EMP! No more diving, no more abilities.
But the beat comes out in time.
Yeah, this time the cleaning wasn't as efficient as it should have been. But it's still... Team Aegir is still slowly winning this.
Yeah. Someone needs to translocate away. It looks like they secured it for now.
Oh!
And they even get the pick on the Sombra.
That happens when you're low health. You get sniped off by the other Sombra. Now, what do you think? What ultimates will be on play? Because Yesmen have a Grav and Tracer Pulse Bomb. Do you think it'll be used?
Obviously, they're probably trying to get this fight, but
there goes the Graviton.
yeah, the Grav's very big. They should be able to get something out of that. But
they already used the Pulse Bomb earlier.
But they can keep securing it.
Yeah. Sombra just running around unchecked in the back line. That's always. We all have that. That one Persky Sombra in the back. You don't know where they are, but you know they are there. Just like an itch.
Yeah.
Teams are setting up. Ooh,
oh,
that's an early pick.
That's gonna be a big advantage for Yesmen here.
Oh yeah. There goes EMP. And beat goes out. That's the power of knowing how to position. Yet it seems Yesmen are going to win this. I mean, they have been investing a lot of ultimates to this one.
Not at all, no.
Postpone gets no one.
Yeah, but they should be able to secure this point. They got enough picks.
They are using beat, yeah, which is immediately cancelled by EMP. Unfortunate. It's really hard fighting on the point. Like, Aegir does not want to give up the point, but they have to. Now they have almost 3 minutes to defend. It should be easy enough. We know how that second curve is where most teams get stuck for a long while.
Yeah. But they do trade here.
Yeah.
But I do think it's in the favor. Oh, not like 3 more kills. It looks like Aegir got it again.
Yeah. I mean, you are not coming back from those numbers. Yeah. Especially with this spawn advantage being almost non-existent at this point of the map. Excellent tracking from Lexu again, huh? Yesmen are pushing past the pesky corner we were earlier talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be easier now for them, but the EMP comes in. It's 3-man, but the Coalescence comes out to counter it, so it should be denied.
A lot of ultimates are being traded. And it's a clean. Or yes. Aegir right now are scrabbling on the point. Yeah. Taking the ball. Just
they are trying to stall here, but it looks like they're getting denied pretty well.
Yeah, spin to win is not working as well as it was anticipated to work, and it has worked in previous metas. The Bastion! Lays out the Bastion! Surprise pick that's taken out quickly. Yes, man, coming on top.
30 seconds
and getting the point after a harsh battle. Having the 30 seconds extra.
Score
Very generous.
0-3. Switching sides.
What do you think? What do you think, Turbo? There's a pause.
Match.
Well, this just gives our analyzer more time to analyze. What do you think? How was the new meta scene? How was it utilized?
Oh, I think Turbo just DC'd. I just came quick to sub in. Sorry, I didn't get that there, but it's nice to be here with you, Shad. I guess thank you to Turbo if maybe he's watching this at VOD, the owner of the 2 eSports. So yeah, that was a treat to have him on. So Shad, tell me a bit about this match. I was watching a bit, and it looks like these two teams are pretty strong. They're both at that GM level, and we know some of these players. We know Grumpy Llama, one of the coaches. And we know, of course, the mighty Legsu, also known as Icegnome on this server, very, very well in this community. So there's a little bit of rivalry going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Llama joined the Watch Party VC actually and said, are you guys looking forward to seeing Icegnome get rolled by me? So
Oh, absolutely! If it's good entertainment.
has been? Oh, I can't even speak. Is that what's been going on? There we go.
No, I wouldn't say real. The team fights have been. I would say they've been the teams have been toe to toe. It has been a sweep to another sweep. I would say that at the moment, Yes Men have better ult combinations than Aegir, who are just their ultimates have not been that special or impactful because I cannot remember any of them, which is probably a good indication.
Yeah, that's a little bit rude, but with players on Yes Men such as Puku, Lala, and Lexi, as we mentioned before, they're a pretty strong roster. So
Oh yes.
I wonder when this game is gonna continue. Okay, will be a couple minutes until some action comes back in, but don't leave yet, as there's so much to talk about here. So tell me more about the face of the Yes Men team, Nob Cheesy. He's the face that you see in all those PKG interviews. Not to bring up another tourney or anything, but yeah, he's a lovely chap, as you mentioned at the start. You're the most lovely referee, and maybe he's one of the people that even say that. So that's super excited to hear. So yeah, what do you think about Nob Cheesy in particular? Does his gameplay reflect his kindness?
Absolutely not. It has been brutal.
Oh, jeez, that's not what you want to hear if you're Nob Cheesy.
I meant that in a good way. You know, a teddy, a bear, it's, goofy eyes and soft fur. But if you steal his honey, he's gonna slash out. And that's what we're seeing. Coordinated slashing out.
Yeah. So we see, sorry, I didn't pay attention too much. Is it Yes Men that was on the attack?
Yes.
Okay, so Yes Men made it to the end. That's really important. With 29 seconds, Shad, if you didn't know, which I think you do know, you're quite a knowledgeable person.
Thank you.
Under that minute mark is super lucky, but on the other hand, the defense team not taking it down to overtime is also unlucky. So it's a double-handed slap. It's going to be really interesting to see whether this time bank in particular is going to strongly affect the gameplay coming up. Do you think that it will, Shad?
I mean, fights in Overwatch happen so fast that every second counts. And I would say that when it now comes to Aegir's attack, they have a competition. They need to be fast and they need to be win fights more efficiently than they did in the last round.
Mm.
Because in that 30 seconds, and this is a generous 30 seconds, you can have 2 to 3 team fights. That's a lot. That's a lot of
Yeah.
ult to charge, and that's a lot of damage done.
Mm. But I mean, correct me if you're wrong. You did say earlier that Aegir did not have the most impactful ult. So do you think that Aegir can even make it all the way to the end against Yes Men? Do you think Yes Men's defense will be even stronger than their attack was, even though they did make it all the way to the end?
I cannot give a definitive answer to that because I have never witnessed the Aegir play before. I am familiar with Yes Men, so
Yeah.
I'm all up for this underdog story. I do have faith in Aegir. I
Also,
wanna see them roll.
do you think that they are the underdogs then? Wait,
For
so
me,
is it
for me
Aegir or
personally,
Aegir?
for me personally, because I do not know them.
Oh, okay. I mean, we saw Yes Men compete in PKG Masters. Yeah, again, not to mention another tournament because we are the superior one. But you know that a Gaia or Gear, I still don't know what their name is. They're 4.2k team plus. They got Grumpy Llama, a head coach, a guy that we're very familiar with, and the rest of these players, they're forces to be threatened with, whether they have impactful ults or not. Is a completely different situation, and I think soon we will start getting back into this game. What's the most excited thing you're looking? What thing are you most excited to see?
I'm excited to see how the tank duo of Aegir works and how they
Yeah.
work together because I saw glimpses of greatness in the brutality that was Yes Men just wiping the floor with them.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting, to say the least, what will be coming up. We're moving on to this defense on Kings Row for Yes Men, and let's see what they're going to be running here on the defense. They keep on tricking us. They're playing some mind games, but overall, it does look like Pukulala is going to be on that Tracer. Do you think Odin... Nope, there we go. Caught me before I could even say it. I was going to ask whether Odin was going to stay on that Doomfist or not, and clearly not. But we're seeing that traditional Korean style dive, the OG Korean dive from Apex seasons. How do you think that's going to fare against Aegir or Agaya's attack?
I feel like it's gonna fare well because
Yeah.
it worked. It worked in attack. I'm sure it'll work in defense. Of course, dive is seen as more of a offensive tactic, and it's usually used in offense, but it can also be used in defense. And
No way. No way, no way, no way. I'm sorry.
oh, they're
I will
doing
spew
it. They are
right
doing
here.
it. And they wait.
That they were baiting us, but Lazy is on the Bastion with the Symmetra teleportation, and he's just raining bullets from above. Two people from Yes Men falling down very quickly. Although the two-tank lineup does fall from Aegir, the push is still looking strong, as there's only 3 men standing on that Yes Men side. 3 weak men. The res does come through for Grumpy Llama, so he's back in the fight, and this Bastion is just sitting on top of the poor metallic monk's head and taking 2 ticks most likely. That quickly. Wow, that is such a strong start with a Reinhardt as well. Not the strongest hero. Oh my goodness, Lazy just lasering Pukulala straight off the bat, and that's a cap. They capped the point. What went on there, Shad?
I knew this was happening at some point. That is such a overpowered and fun tactic.
Overpowered.
Bastion.
Oh my goodness, he's back at it again, taking whatever high ground he can take. So it seems like their tactic is to leave 1 on payload. That's going to be Cobra on that Ana for the long range heal. And leave the Bastion. Odin coming in with the hack. It's not going to do too much.
Oh, there's no follow-up. Oh, there's the follow-up.
There, you see what their plan was. Hack the Bastion and go for the dive. Lazy did take out Guts. That's the Guts of Yes Men gone out the fight straight away. And what the hell is going on? This Bastion teleporting around across the map. Lazy, such a strong force, and he's taking away Pukulala.
Even a
Lost her
post
post bomb.
stop him.
Yeah,
Not even a
it's just a little tickle. It's just a little tickle, Shad.
Looking for me?
Yeah, do you
They're
think...
Odin going again.
Oh my goodness. Odin, how do you feel about that? Odin just keeps on hacking lazy when there's no one there to follow up on it. Oh,
I mean, it's an annoyance, that's for sure.
I think X-Men just don't know what to do. Nob Cheesy just jumped into a Bastion. Now the Bastion's ulting. He's just raining explosives from above this time. Pukulala finally did grab a kill, but it just gets rezzed. Anything Yes Men do just gets counted. 5 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock here, Shad. What? People are dying left, right, and center. What's going on? Look at the ult economy on these two teams. It's looking good for Gear. Do you think that Yes Men can take it back with the ults that they got?
I'm not sure. I personally don't play on such high level, but considering how EMP has just been a tickle, I doubt it.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing that EMP come out
There it is.
now, finding 5 hacks. Those hacks are going to be so strong, but it's not enough. Still, people on the side of Yes Men are dying. Nob Cheesy on 1 HP. He's going to fall next to those Symmetra turrets. We did see a Graviton Surge, I believe, come out from Lexu. It did grab quite a few in that bundle and did translate to a few kills, but Lexu's just getting trolled now. Like, it just wasn't enough. Now 4 minutes 50 on the clock here. Oh,
there goes Lazy.
Cool. Straight away, Pukulala is such a formidable hit scam, and again, need to acknowledge him. They need to realize that this isn't just any diamond team. This is a high master, low GM team.
Gotta say, quite carelessly Bastion with such low HP. It was desperately went on.
Oh my goodness, and Puku taking out the Mercy. The Shatter did come through, not finding too much, but the anti-nade is so massive, allowing Yeepy to die. But it's still looking tough for Yes Men. They are starting to take some space with the Roadhog from Lexu. Damn. Oh my goodness, this hero is so strong, and with someone like Lexu behind the wheel, he's finding many more kills to come. They managed to hold it, but Shad, they got almost 4 minutes left on the clock, while Yes Men only have 29 seconds. You think that they can take more time than Yes Men can?
I would say yes, as Sebastian no longer works, and they are running a Doomfist against their own a bot Roadhog.
Yeah, we're seeing that nano boost come out on the Winston. Yeepy nano boosted is definitely a threat, as we saw him take out Pukulala. Formidable hit scan Grumpy Llama with the flux, killing Lexu, allowing the follow-up on Nob Cheesy. It's looking like follow-up from here as they're approaching near the end. The Dragon did try to come out, but Odin got shut down now. Wow. I mean to say, what just even happened? We saw the Bastion TP strat. We saw a significant amount of time being thrown all over the place. We saw the Hanzo come out. We saw Doomfist come out. What's going on here, Shad?
I cannot answer that. The meta is so new, but the Bastion strategy, it keeps working.
Ooh.
So why fix something that is not broken? Though I'd be surprised if IR are gonna run the Bastion strat again.
Yeah, they lose that element of surprise. I don't think anyone was expecting an Omnic on top of a statue of a robot's head. Just plonked on top. That was definitely not something I was expecting at all. And
no.
It looks like on the defense we're seeing a Farah Mercy with a Doomfist. Tell me more, Shad. Is this an... Oh, and I'm wrong. They switched the Doomfist to a Genji. Do you think that this is going to be an effective defense comp?
I mean, you're asking a plat player, but I would... well, what can I say? As I personally am part of a farmer's duo, if the Farah is competent, a Farah is deadly.
Yeah, and he definitely will be competent. It's
Pukulala,
lazy.
he has replied with a Widowmaker.
Oh, that's going to be extremely tough, especially with a Mecha, as I like to call it, the Mercy Echo. Pukulala's looking for the shot! A smooth, clean, milky
God,
headshot.
deleted.
Nob Cheesy did fall down. That's a secret that people don't like to talk about. Lexu killing Assesses, from the side of Aegir. Without that Mercy, it's going to be extremely hard, as we just saw the value that a Mercy can get with a Resurrection. Lexu again finding another kill. That's another 2 kills for Lexu. This guy's just bringing them all in. Wow. And there's that hook to take the icing off that cake and shove it in that chubby hog's mouth. Wow. That a complete obliteration. We're seeing these teams take it in turn. They're saying, okay, it's our turn to attack. We will show you an attack.
Whoa, that was fast. What power and speed! Oh my god, this is some Overwatch, I tell you.
Yeah, this is Overwatch and a half. Mecha coming out. Look at these ult charge, Shad. Who's in the advantage? Like, it's clear that the red team, yes men are, but at the same time they're losing kills, but they have the ults. They have the ults. What are these ults going to do for them? And I think we're going to be seeing that response right here, right now, as we see the Nano Blade come out from Velasquez, taking out Nob. Jeezy, what? No! They didn't touch the point! No, they almost had that in the bag. Look at the ult economy. That's so sad to see. Shad!
That's my effect!
Shad,
You're
my brain is
welcome.
Shad.
That's just... Now that's what we call the Shad effect.
The Shad effect. I don't want to use any 2-letter words, but I mean, I don't want to say it. I think we'll call that a D7. I don't want to say the secret 2 letters, in case anyone gets angry at me. But I think that's safe to say that's definitely a D7,
Alright.
situation.
I mean, then again, what are you gonna do? There's a buffed Genji
Cry.
with a nano and a blade right in front of you. Are you gonna stay on the point and die, or run away from the point and die?
Maybe a bit of both, Shad. Maybe a bit of both. I'm just sad. Didn't have the copy. He could have, like, I don't know, copied the Genji and done one of his own. But
yeah.
okay, we're seeing some old meta come out here, and by old meta I mean also new meta. An Orisa Hog. How do you think that's gonna do, Pukilala, on that Ashe though?
I'm not actually sure, because shields are basically tissue paper at this point. So of course, full hook, that's a kill. An easy kill at that. Oh, they're doing it again. Never mind.
Comes in, leaving Lazy on 1 HP. The circumstances are different, as yes men expected this. They got an Echo on their team. They got a damage boosted Ashe. They're waiting for this situation.
There goes SS.
And there's an example of it. Lexu is hungry for some food, and he's gonna eat it up. Anyone he sees is a smack for him. Yeep is on the side though, looking for some side damage. He's not gonna really find it, as there's some strange brawl breaking out. Lexu did get dived on, but he's a hog. He can't die. Lazy did fall, but got brought back up to life. But with that window of opportunity, Lexu managed to fit it and grab a kill of his own. It's hard for an attacking team when Lexu is on the defense on hog. Wow, Shad. What do you think's gonna happen here? Look at the time bank and look at the ults and give me an answer, Shad. I want to hear an answer.
Time to raise my ATM.
Hold, that's my bold prediction.
A full hold. Okay, you heard it here first. If this happens, well, I mean, you said it. We're seeing a D.Va come out and a Pharah. So it's going to be pretty spicy, Lexu, with that
Never
whole
mind, the Pharah's gone.
And there's the
No
hook.
resurrection for you.
The hog following up, and he's going to push them back into the cinema. Stay in there and watch a movie, and by a movie, it's going to be Lexu probably grabbing a play of the game as he grabs another for himself. Well, it's a show to watch. He's worthy to go in that cinema himself.
As a VIP, of course.
Oh,
The
yes.
star of the game.
But now the attacking team only has a nano boost. How do you feel about that going into a Bob, Copy, Valk, and Bongo? There's a Bongo.
I don't
coming out.
know, there is no one to nano. Exploding
no
at
one to
Winston.
Yep, and that nano boost did just come online, and it's not going to find any value. What happened there, Cobra? Cobra, you can't make mistakes like this in the stage of the game. That's so much time gone. The resurrection does come through from Esses on Farklos. Do I even bother pronouncing that name? I think not, as there's too much action breaking down. Lexu on that side angle. He's not going to die as he just presses E. He's got that damage reduction following through, and now Strange weird rule of the fight is coming up. Grumpy Llama loses the mech and his baby, but the Valkyrie coming through from Yes Men is going to supply that damage boost, allowing so many more kills to follow through. Shad, what's going on? Pukulala's just clicking heads left, right, center. S121 shows no respect with that Mercy pistol, and the only kill that they managed to grab was a Widow snipe on the side of Farkilos. Wow.
Yeah, if you get that Valk, you shouldn't go Mercy. Even if your name is Mercy. And there
Yeah,
comes
so-
another attack. Without Pukulala,
Yeah, it's a
actually
strange.
the turning point. As
Whoa,
the-
what's going on here? The push, it seemed to be working. Grumpy Llama did take out Guts, and now Lexu is going to die as well. Primal Rage active, and it finds to the Ash. Mercy going down. Now it's just Knob Cheesy left to survive. Odin dropping that bomb after he copied, and it's not going to find any value. That's an shoved down the drain. The resurrection does come through on the side of Aegir. Now they got a full roster. They got a Barrage online. They got a Nano online. They've almost got a Bomb online. They've almost got a Valk online, and Yes Man only have a window up right now, and no other ults is going to be for them. Zero time is on the clock. They just need to push it around the corner. The window does get dropped, pressuring them, but they got plenty of space. They got plenty of time, and they're going to be pushing that payload up. Nog Cheesy looking to create some space close to the end of the point, and now the overtime is ticking hard. The contest is starting to come through now, but the Nano Barrage following up. The anti-nade was massive, but the lamp was even bigger, but two falling on Yes Man. This could be the end. A lucky pick does come through, but Cobra finishing off Guts. Now it's just one last contest. Lexu tries his best, but that is it for Kings Row, and Aegir take the cake, they take the food, they take the snacks, getting revenge. Wow, Shad, that was a mountaintop of a match.
Oh my. And for once, I actually know where it all fell apart and where it lost my credibility. It was the moment when Pukulala died on Ash, leaving a lazy Rain Terror on Asgard.
Yeah, Pukulala is such a strong hit scan, and if you take him out of that fight, you have no fear.
You made the right decision.
Okay, we are now going to be seeing what map is coming up next, but Shad, let's have a chat. We only covered the surface of what went on there. There was a Bastion dive situation, which worked way too well for the first time, and then it got moved on to another situation. Like, it was just going crazy. Like, both these teams are so ridiculously strong at attack. Do you think that we'll be seeing the same theme throughout? And what type of map, if that makes sense, are you most looking forward to next in the future?
As you said, both teams are excellent at attacking, so I'm really looking for control.
Exactly.
Because
That's what I was
only
thinking.
attack.
Yeah. For sure. The map I'm not looking forward to the most is you know, a lot of people might agree with me if they play the game, is 2CP, because I don't know, I think it's just going to be a ping pong, both teams just waiting to get on attack, you know, just lounging around on defense, unless you get Lexi on that hog, of course, then it's a whole different story. And yeah, it's just going to be both these teams just smacking each other on the skull, waiting to attack and attacking with full force.
So.
Oh yes, continue. Sorry, cutting you off.
No. You joined as you joined in kind of late. Welcome, by the way.
Yeah.
So, how did you enjoy the show?
Oh, I enjoyed it, alright. With these two ridiculously powerful teams, it's always fun to watch. And I know these people, as some of you guys in the audience might know. As I said before, Grumpy Llama, Lexu, these are members of our community, and they are, members of our community. That's all I had to say. And if you join this tournament, wink, a wink, nudge, a nudge, you might get to meet some of these gods of gamers that you saw right in front of you. It's going to be interesting to see what map is coming up next. I believe it's Escort. Am I correct, Shad?
Yes, you are. And it
Ooh.
seems that we are going to Watch Point.
Oh,
Oh,
Shad,
sorry.
you just kind of spoiled it there. Jeez.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
That's the
Shad,
Shad effect. Shad
even
effect.
Owen told
Ruining
us. He
everything.
was like, he even said in a sad voice on prod, he was like, guys, please don't bring up the map until I reveal it. Well, you screwed it all up, Shad. I hate you. But watch Point Gibraltar.
What can I say?
Dive maps.
That's the Shad effect. Ruining everything.
Yeah, these are. It's such a it's, dive. Like I can't imagine just anything else. I can imagine a hog as I played it in comp, but playing it at comp at a diamond level is it's just a little bit different to these monstrous SRs that we see from both these teams. You referenced your plat, so I doubt you would have seen like I don't know, just both teams playing dive as I expect to what we're gonna see now.
Arriving at Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Actually
But I-
disagree because my team at the Sandwich has
Initial.
of course.
climbed close to diamond.
Of course, I forgot about the sandwich. And speaking of sandwich, we'll be seeing the Sandwich Academy later tonight, so stay tuned. Quick little plug. And taking a little teaser here, it looks like these teams will be leaning towards that sort of dive style with a Sombra, as we like to see. Tell me more, Shad. Tell me more about the Sombra. How do you feel? What can it do? Just tell me things about Sombra, Shad.
Ready for battle.
Well, I'm not the expert on Sombra, but the hack is very powerful on a dive composition where movement and abilities are everything. If you hack the Winston before he gets out, he has no way of getting out. It's free ult charge for your team and a dead Winston for the other team.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what these teams are gonna bring in the bag. Whether it's gonna be a battle of who has the better Sombra, or maybe as Llama liked to tease, who has the better off tank. But tell me what the differences between the Diva and Zarya. Which one is gonna be working better? Do you know? Do you
I
not
would
know?
actually argue the
Okay,
difference.
argue with me.
Well, I was going to argue as
Lucy, great. Yeah, I
was
thought that up.
playing a Widowmaker, but to switch to Tracer.
Well, I was close to guessing what you were going to argue with me here, and we are seeing that 200 HP Brigger. Something weird to see. Pookie Lala is just wiggling all over the place, and there the first dive is coming in. It's not going to do too much apart from farm ult, and that's the theme of this Shad, isn't it? Oh! Unlucky. Unfortunately, he does die when he tried to escape away. There's no survivors from Nob Cheesy or Lexi. Odin dropping down for a bit of ult charge, but it's looking good for both these teams. The Brawl phase is starting to break out, but you know, this isn't the game that they're playing with this. They're waiting for those ults, Shad. So tell me more. Which team is going to do better with these comps with the ults?
I would actually say that Aegir has an upper hand when it comes to ultimates, because Diva Bomb is not as strong as it used to be, nor is Diva as strong as she used to be, which as a Diva 1 trick is a very sad thing to say.
Yeah, Grumpy Llama on that Diva is definitely an interesting choice, as we normally see that Zarya Nob Cheesy just punching the baby in the skull, crushing it, and along with Llama's hopes and dreams. I think we'll see some more baby skulls getting crushed as the fight is starting to engage. Here, look at the high ground getting perfectly taken by Aegir, and they got that EMP online. They got that nano boost. I'm expecting an EMP with a monkey nano. And there it is, it's come attacking 4. Guts did manage to pop the rally, so maybe he'll keep a little bit of sustain, but S121 does die. Both these Annas on each team are down, but the EMP comes out from Yesman. The reverse EMP managed to find the reverse in-fight sweep. What? They just took it in turns. They said, yeah, alright, you can EMP first, but I'll EMP after you, and it's going to work better than you. And that's just what happened. Oh. Grumpy Llama just had enough of life being a baby and just jumped into the rocks. What a sad
He's
sight.
running live, pal.
Yeah. But who do you think came out on top after this fight? Because looking at the ults here, it's looking like Yes Men are pretty strong right now. Do you agree or disagree? Oh, Guts does die.
I have to agree, but I wouldn't say that either are in a bad position either. They have ults coming online when it comes to ultimates. And
Yeah, they're not
Robbie here has a
position at all.
bomb. Just
Yeah, losing the Ana on the side of Yes Man is going to be super bad, and a 3-man anti
Odin.
on 1 HP. Not cheesy forced to block that Primal Rage, and Lexu did die. What an unlucky man. Death is sad, and Nob Cheesy is having an even harder time popping that Primal Rage just for survival purposes. 0 kills did translate from that, and look at the space that these teams are creating. Look at the ults coming online. It's looking like Aegir are in the clear, and there's that EMP. 3 men are caught up in that. The Winston dying from that. Pukilala being hacked, taking away most of his value. The Nano Winston is now popping off. 2 men did fall, with Nob Cheesy being one of them because of that juicy pulse bomb. And it looks like they're looking for a recontest. Yes, men are. And Odin just farming up the last bit. As the rest die. That's all it is
Just
to
how
it.
it
People
goes.
dying.
Hello, Odin.
Oh.
How are you? What are we wanting Ana?
And yeah,
Well.
more and more people died. That's a 3-man stagger. If you even
I
want to call
mean-
it stagger, if it's half the team.
Seems to be working for a hire to what we wanting Ana.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think Aegir have gone for the whole approach that we think we are better than you skill-wise. So we're just gonna take a ton of one-on-ones with you because we're gonna win because we're better than you. I think that's the mentality coming in. But there's that dive, and Odin has had enough, dropping the EMP, finding 3 EP and Essies being 2 of them, and that's going to show there when Essies did fall. Odin dying isn't going to be too important, as Nob Cheesy is going to take the rest of the damage for him with a bit of help from S121's nano boostations. Pukilala coming up with that pulse bomb online, ready for the next fight. They have got full high ground control, full awareness. So Shad, tell me more. Do you still think that this Steve is working?
No, as I said, Eva she's not what she used to be, but I'm gonna give her Grumpy Lava some credit. I reward him with the award of Mr. Consistency. Every bomb has killed at least a person.
There's a fat EMP coming in. A couple did get hacked, but not as many as you'd like to see. The sound barrier coming in, allowing that sustain for Aegir, but what the hell, a juicy gaffle right there. Pukilala with that pulse bomb on top of Legsu's magnificent Graviton Surge. The space, the fights that they are winning, yes men, they're just taking in turns. We'll win 2 fights, and we'll give you 1. I think that's the theme, and I think that 1 fight is going to be coming up for the good old Aegir.
I'm gonna say, EMP is really strong in in the dive. Like, their EMP is going out so much, so often, so big. It's amazing.
Yeah, there we're seeing another EMP. Ow. Just for the clear up, the rally was online for Guts, and that's the rest of the deaths coming in. But now without that EMP, Lazy's got quite a nice chunk of charge, along with a nano boost online, pulse bomb, and big fat chunky bomb. So do you think it's still looking good for Yasmin? I think that they're gonna lose this point. As it's approaching overtime, the speed booster maybe is going to help Grumpy Llama come in, maybe engaging with a Diva Bomb. I don't know what's going to happen. Overtime is triggered. Now, the Diva on top. Pukilala did manage to find a chunky pulse bomb, taking out the main tank from the side of
Mr.
Aegir.
Consistency.
Now, Grumpy Llama taking out Lexi. There's no tanks left, but the EMP does come out. Lazy has had enough of losing team fights. He's went for it there. Odin getting hacked. What? Dude, Pukilala, you can't do that. Pukilala, that's not allowed. You can't just start killing people after an EMP comes out. No. That's not fine. He's taking out the Diva Mech as well. This is overtime. Give him a fight, guys. What? Now the EMP from Yes Men comes out as well. Odin. Now Nob Cheesy with a Primal Rage, taking it all the way. What? They didn't even cap the second tick because of Pukilala's incredible play on that last overtime fight, allowing the rest of his team to come back with the ultimate Shad. Whoa. Shad, I don't know what to say. Give me some words.
Initiating
Words have been sent to your way.
Thank you, Shad. Much better. But Come on, Shad. Tell me more. I referenced before that that the Aegir like to take these one-on-one situations, but with someone like Pukulala and Yes Man, do you think that is viable? Such a strong hit scan.
As long as you're not going against Pukulala, you should be fine.
Sounds good to me. I don't plan on going against him anytime soon. What about you?
Oh no. Oh no. I don't even play DPS.
Well, I mean, I know a guy called Owen, and I reckon he could take him. But apart from that,
No. What
maybe.
I've heard that he's a changed man. He's a mercy one trick nowadays.
Okay,
Well,
this is
not to say that Mercy couldn't take out a DPS, but
oh, if it's Owen, he can.
simply saying.
But Shad, I think Aegir have noticed the errors of their ways, and they switched their Lucio off to a Brigitte, but they are still keeping that Diva. But no. They're tricking us on attack, right? They're not running Hog Orisa on Watchpoint Gibraltar with a teleportation. Lexi on the high ground, he gets punished. You can't BM GM team. Come on, guys, you get punished for that. And here we are seeing that punish come through. Aegir are just fed up of dying, so they have gone for kills of their own. But the hack coming in, it does manage to kill Ferocitus, but Guts did die. These early kills do not matter too much if it's anyone on Yes Men dying, because they're on attack. Their spawn's right over there in that big fat cave, and Pukulala killing Lazy is massive. Without that EMP being constantly charged, Odin is probably going to come over to an advantage anytime soon. And now it's looking wondrous for Yes Man, pushing it onto the bridge. Ooh.
I gotta say, I really like how teleported. The Hawk was teleported on top. It would have been glorious, weren't it, for that fact that he was expected and then absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, I think Guts is a magnificent Brigitte. We just saw him 3v1 on a 200 HP Brigitte. This is new patch, and Pukulala is now poking holes straight through Aegir. Taking out Cobra is absolutely massive, as he did have that nano boost online. Yippee is not too happy about it. In fact, he is angry, primal angry, taking out Pukulala, getting that revenge, and he's smacking around, but the EMP does come through, helping Yippee get some more Lazy, finishing off Legsu, getting that final blow, and the ult economy is just swinging left, right, and center, and Yes Men have almost got many ults online.
There's the Diva Bomb.
Yes,
Pukulala
I
is
think
good.
that this Pukulala is extremely strong. He's looking for the emoting. What? Just sit down when Pukulala's on Widowmaker. That's not fine. You're gonna get punished for that. Pukulala's looking for the punish. Can't quite find it. The hack does come in with Grumpy Llama, so he can't drop that bomb. The nanoed. Winston versus an angry. Winston is definitely an interesting duel. Pukulala did unfortunately fall. He didn't find his revenge, but the rallying Brigitte is sure gonna find some form of reward. But wait, how are they still dying on the side of Yes Men? How has this happened? How on earth has Aegir won that fight when Yes Men invested?
Because they were investing smart in all the properties. Big when we want.
Yeah, Grumpy Llama here. I think he's taking out a lot of that damage with his defense matrix. Even though there's not too much to poke, and just definitely cannot. Defense matrix, the EMP coming in, along with Knob Cheesy with that nanoed Winston, getting that graviton surge damage all in there. Legsu just wants to group them up into one little bundle. Now Knob Cheesy wants to split them all up afterwards. There will be no reunion when Knob Cheesy's around in rage, bullying a baby as Knob Cheesy normally does. Oh, wow. That was a phenomenal performance. Only Guts managed to die there on the side of Yes Men. And I don't think Yes Men are too bothered about that.
They have no worries. So no need to be bothered about such a small thing.
Let's try that again.
Apagando las luces.
And there's the EMP coming in for Aegir, the massive hack, finding both tanks on the side of Yes Men. 2 men falling on Yes Men, 3 men, 4 men, 5 men. Odin's just the last man standing as a pulse bomb was dropped off as the icing on the cake. But looking at the ult, Shad, tell me more. Who's going to win the next fight? I want you to predict the future, Shad. You can do it.
Mm, I say fire.
Wait,
Oh, well, I say overtime, and I also say yes, men. I disagree with you yet again. The ults are coming online. Odin's almost got that EMP, but he dies. No, without him alive, it's going to be extremely hard for Yes Men to win this fight, but Yes Men are still fighting, taking out Anna, taking out the main tank. On the side of a gear, it's looking okay. It's looking great. In fact, it's looking fantastic. The state of this match is changing every single second, and it's no longer looking good as the rally comes online. S121 does die on that Moy, which is super unfortunate. The big fat bomb did take out the Vegeta from Guts, losing that shield, but the EMP finding 3 men on the side of a gear is absolutely massive as Lexu's monstrous ball did try to follow up. It just wasn't quite enough. Now Nob Cheesy is just the last scientist standing with Primal Rage. He almost left the point, but he's just tickling the surface. What a poor matchup. Oh no. Aegir won it. They took it. I'm pretty sure they won King's Row as well, if my memory serves me correct. It was only 2 minutes ago, and I can't even remember. And Asus.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, Aegir, 2-0. That's so weird, because it feels like Yes Men have always been winning, but just sometimes things just aren't quite happening as things are expected. It's just, it's weird. It's strange. It's unexpected, because you did mention earlier that, that, that you definitely saw Yes Men as the favorite. And,
Oh, that was only a
Yes Men losing.
personal favorite. As
Sure,
I
sure,
have
Shad.
mentioned for
Sure,
the
sure.
5th time, I have not known that I did not know Aegir, but now I respect them.
Yeah, Shad, they're definitely a team to respect. They're definitely a team to fear. A mixture of both, to say the least. With members like Grumpy Llama on that diva, he definitely did his job. But there's some more standout players, I'd say. We saw the person getting player of the game was Assessis on that Brigitte. He was playing a bit of Lucio before. It was definitely decent. To say the least. But I think we'll be moving on to a quick short break as my throat is extremely thirsty. I'm sorry, guys, but don't go anywhere. If you leave, you will miss the juicy action, because the next map coming up is Shad. What type of map are we doing after Escort?
I cannot say. I don't have any connections to
It's a
the
surprise
future
then.
or the past. I am currently stuck in the present.
Yeah, it's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be a spicy surprise, to say the least. Can Yes Men take it back from a gig? Can they take a full-on map? I think they might. But we'll see what happens in the future, whether a gear is going to get that 3-0 or Yes Men is going to slap on back. See you very, very shortly. Okay, guys, welcome back. We are so excited to get right back into this next map set. We are hearing that it is Control, the map that we're most looking forward to. Shad, you even... Shad? Shad?
Mm-hmm. I'm present.
Shad, we're live. So we are moving
As I said,
to
I am
Control.
present.
Yes, you are, Shad. Tell me more about Control. Are you looking forward to this map? You said you were, and
Yes.
what are you expecting? Do you think the Yes Men can get that next cap? The next map. The next map. That's what I'm trying to say, Shad. I'm trying to say, Shad, do you think that they can take a map off them?
A wise man once said, "You may lose a battle, but you can win a war." So yes,
Mm.
I do believe in the Yes Men.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes Men are. I'm just trying to make some puns on Yes Men.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
Technically,
The next map is going to be interesting to find out what it is. Ooh, Lijiang Tower!
Tower.
Yay! Shad, are you looking forward to this map? Are you surprised that this map was chosen? What do you think is going to be happening on this map? Anything can break out. Do you think that we'll see that Sombra again? Do you think we'll see Kukulala on a sniper? Tell me more, Shad.
I actually, as we're playing the night market, I'm actually surprised. I'd actually hope to see Symmetra. I am not sure if it's gonna work outside of the if so feared double shield meta, but I personally have found the Symmetra really fun. It's always surprising, and it seems that the Feskidos is playing Symmetra.
Ooh,
I may be-
a spicy sim.
4,
Mm.
3, 2,
And I don't believe I'm actually being
round 1.
My
fooled
ultimate
here.
is online.
Oh, it happens to the best of us. We all
What a
GPs.
what
Well, I mean,
a
I don't.
masterful teleporter.
This is
Absolutely
high-end
beautiful.
GM gameplay, as we see. Knob Cheesy already starting that gauge. Lexi popping those bubbles, getting that ult charge, getting that charge, taking out Cobra with the help of Knob Cheesy. Gods managed to red it. The Widowmaker on the side of Janir, and now Pukilala is just following up. What the hell? Yes Men are taking the first fight. They will be taking that first cap, and Pukilala is going to be at the forefront of this revolutionary action. Shad, do you reckon that they can take this full map off the hands of I've already Agnir? Aegir. There we go. I'm
Well,
sorry,
it's
Aegir.
too early to say, but I do hope that, because I'm all up for that. I want to have fun, and I want our audience to have fun, and you can have fun with really interesting matches.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you who's having fun. Grumpy Llama. I'm sure he is so excited that he managed to kill Lexi, but Knob Cheesy, he's not excited. He's an angry man. He did post him there, but that value from the Primal Rage did help quite a lot. Grumpy Llama fighting another kill onto such an important support out of Yes Men. This fight is a constant ping-pong battle, and no one knows who is winning right now. Pukilala is falling, so it's looking really good if Aegir do want to start engaging. Although the members of Yes Men are starting to rally back up, it looks like Aegir are going to be taking that point-ish control. Already starting that cap on the point around him.
Graviton.
The EMP coming in, hacking 3. They know that Grumpy Llama's now got that ult, so that's valuable information, as well as the fact they just won a lost fight that easily. Shad, was it worth it? Simple as that. Was it worth it?
I think it was.
Mm.
Because we're all already at the almost 80%. The map is almost over. Look at how fast things go. And look at how many ultimates there are in play right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of ultimates in play right now. We're seeing some come out. That EMP coming in. It looked a bit red, and I see a lot more red. If that kill feed pointing towards that poor old blue, as Aegir will be Oh, there we go. We'll be capping the point there. It's almost a D7 situation, as I'm going to reference to it from now on. I don't want these teams to be angry at me. But speaking of anger, Nobcheesy's almost got that primal rage, but I doubt they're going to be pushing anytime soon, as the pulse bomb from Farloxius does manage to blow up Guts' guts. The gut bullets never get old.
Oh my god, I missed your pun. You're
Okay,
the
we're seeing,
than I am.
We're seeing a primal rage Winston versus a nano Winston, and Nob managed to get rid of all the value of that nano boost. Shad, what's more valuable, primal rage or nano?
Nano, absolutely. Because nano can be utilized in so many different ways. It's a Play-Doh. You can make anything out of it.
You heard
can
it
even
first. Nano boost, a killing ability is like Play-Doh. But speaking of Play-Doh, it looks like Aegir's going to be molding the playing field, using a primal rage of their own, getting though, so he doesn't have those jumps, and the bomb is plunking in on Guts' skull. What a poor man, and Yabiti is going to be smacking Odin into obliteration. And now it's all follow-up. From here, Lexu just jumping off the map because he's fed up of this fight. He doesn't want to get staggered. But moving into this next push, I can't tell who's going to win it.
Oh no, like, of
Nano boost
course,
coming online.
yes men have an ult advantage. But at the same time, Aegir have shown such a good gameplay. Oh.
Yeah, they don't have an ult advantage for long, as the nano boost is coming online. The hack coming in on Pukulala after he got a quick kill, but there's the EMP, so no ults will be coming in play from the side of yes men. But a counter EMP is popping on out. It was almost a lost fight, but they can't lose any more time here. Now the fight is breaking out on point. Nobcheesy got slammed back into the spawn room, and now again it looks like the point is there. It's just the last few touches. I don't know whether this take is possible. I have faith in yes men, but not enough faith. Lexu on that ball. We've all heard of his famous tales of having a ball one-trick account and getting very high on it, and we're seeing some of that action come into play over here as he managed to stall for so long on the point, taken out by Yeepy. Nobcheesy next dies, but the final touch from Guts getting hacked, and now the bomb is going to be the icing on the cake. The first round going to Aegir, as probably the fans did expect to see Aegir taking the round. So did it happen.
0-1.
And it's not over just yet. I really hope we get
Ready.
not this one, but I am happy with this one. As the Lucian main personally, this point specifically is a nightmare for your enemy team.
Yeah, you referenced you're a Lucio main, and I don't know about you, but you might know a particular rollout where you can go from spawn, and if the enemy team has a Lucio and they go towards bridge, you can boot them all off the map. This is 4K gameplay. Do you think we'll be seeing that here?
No, because you can't do that against dive comps, because they'll just jump out and it just everyone just wasted time.
Yep, and speaking of jumping, these teams are jumping all over the place. Their backline is your backline. Your space is their space. There's no such thing as space, but Lexu manages to utilize some space and booping Cobra off the map. There's that boop that I've been wishing for. Pukulala's just trolling two members at the same time on the red team, on Aegir, but Aegir manages to knock back, so to speak, using the grapple hook on Yeepy, and the follow-up is so clean, crystal clear, perfection from there on out. Shad, do you think that this momentum of tapping it at the start is going to be extremely effective?
You were
Okay,
saying?
we've got some interesting information leading towards you guys basically wanting to stick around, so stay tuned for the future. But now, speaking of the future is soon to be revealed in this round over here. This fight, Odin taking out the Lucio, but both main supports from both teams is gonna die as the pulse bomb did get dropped. Grumpy Llama somehow knocking Odin off the map, and now the Pukulala manages to fall as well. What is going on with these boobs? Shad, you're a Lucio player. Like, is it really this easy to boot so many people? Another boot. Now a celebratory.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe a misclick. A celebratory EMP. Some fireworks. Huh.
Yay!
This is
I
this
mean-
is GM gameplay, guys.
Don't question it.
Yeah. I mean.
But regarding your question about environmentals, yes, if you're looking for environmentals, you just punish that. It's easy as that. And it's very satisfying.
Oh, speaking of satisfying, I just saw a fat anti coming in, but the mines,
Yes.
the mines are going to be following up. Lexu's in a sticky situation over here, and now the Diva Bomb, killing Guts, wiping
Oh my
him out
god.
from
Poor
existence.
Guts.
She's looking to get some space. Odin managed to clean up, but it's not looking so good from here on out, as yes men are starting to crumble. They're not saying yes. Oh wait, they are. They're saying hell yes. They're taking more space. The copy does come through, but now with a stick block, Jeezy jumps straight into his Diva. Fair enough. Oh no, that was their Diva. Excellent play then, Lexu with the last contest, and it's not looking good for yes men. Now it's just Lexu trying to touch at the end. No, we really wanted yes men to win so badly, and it's a shame that it's not looking good for them. I don't want to speak too soon, as Nobshizi is at the end of his life as well, it appears, and now it's just the last trickling contest coming in. Well, okay, not just the last trickling contest. Quite a good few contests are coming in. This is a longer contest than I expected, and there, just as it was foretold, Aegir does take the cake. It was excellent play to Aegir, but I'm just sad that it wasn't yes men which got the underdog story.
yeah.
Play of the game.
Taking it 3-0. There's Yeepy chewing on some tires. Look at this play. You can't do this to a GM team. That's not how it works. He's playing ball like he's a
Meow.
sniper. Wow.
Just rolling through with your limousine. That is a ball. Not point stats. Don't get in the way of ePay.
Okay, yeah, that was definitely an interesting map to say the least. I believe just looking at the chat that we're going to be going into a short break, I think, and then after that we'll talk about it more. I'm not too well adverse to what is going on here, whether we are doing it as a match, whether it's first to 3 or best or 5 or what. So are we going to be playing all 5 maps, or was that the end?
First to 3, isn't it? I'm not very good at numbers.
Yes, maybe. We don't know. We don't know yeah. Long story short, we don't know whether that's the end of this matchup or not. It was definitely interesting to say the least. Off the top of our heads, if it is the end, give us your MVP, Shad, and I'll give.
My MVP would be Lexu.
Oh, is that favoritism, or is that because he's super cracked? Is it a bit of both?
It's the fact because the Jersey Pukulala would have been too easy. Who's your MVP then?
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to call me out. Pukula. It would make a lot of sense to choose someone from Aegir, as most people are expecting I would, but I think Pukilala just showed a strong, consistent performance, always landing kills. There was a moment on Watchpoint Gibraltar where he just shut them down before they could even get that second tick on Watchpoint. Like, what went on there? He just shredded through everybody with some crazy tracer play. We've seen him on the hit scan, we've seen him on the Ash before, and he's just so good. He's so consistent. He's marvelous, fantastic, a spectacle, a wizard, a god at the video game, so to speak. He's cracked. To put it shortly, he's just absolutely cracked. What a god tier gamer. I don't know, Shad, but tell me from Aegir. Who would you pick from Aegir?
Aegir. Ferskilus. I was Ferskilus or Yipe. I would also argue that SS did amazing job as Bricky. So I will go with SS.
Yeah, guys, I think wait, I'm just holding on to my ear. Did I hear that right from Owen, who's on production, who just said that we're gonna be playing one goats map?
Don't get any hopes up here.
I mean, I don't have hopes. I just have interest to what's going on. Turbo himself, the head of 2 eSports, is claiming that there's one goats map.
Ooh, so
You
we're
heard it from
getting a
Turbo.
dessert. Nice.
Yeah, we're getting nice icing on the cake, and guys, after that, we're gonna be moving on to. I mean, Shad. I mean, why don't you say what matches after this one? I mean, it's your academy team after all.
Well, mine, it's mostly FDD who will also be hosting who will be your host and caster in the
FTD
next
casting.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So it's gonna be the Sandwich Academy versus Brainstorm's Academy team. So that's gonna be super interesting, guys. We are moving on to wait. Almost has it been revealed yet? Yes, Rialto.
Rialto.
Hasn't been revealed. Owen, he gets very annoyed about things like this. We are moving on to Rialto. A super interesting map for goats. Maybe we're gonna see some Lucio boops on that first river
I
bit of the
hope.
map. Something like that. It's gonna be really interesting to say the least. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. Whether Yes Men can get revenge. Remember, they got a pretty stacked roster. Oh yeah, okay. I got a list of the members of Aegir just to rekindle my very short memory. No offense. Okay, but yeah, my favorite member from Aegir. Ooh, it's a tough one. The one that we always saw in the kill is Farskilos. But I don't know whether
Lazy
he's
was also doing
MVP.
very. Lazy was also not being honorable to his name. He was cleaning up on Zombra.
Yeah, I think I would have to give it to you. Ooh, oh, I don't know. I think Essie's. Yeah, I've changed my mind. I've done the 180. Nope, double 180. Sorry, Essie's. Yippee. Ooh.
Welcome to reality.
Okay, Rialto goats. It's gonna be interesting, Rialto goats. What type of goats are we gonna see? That's the question. Are we gonna see Bap goats, Zenyatta goats, Sigma goats, Roadhog goats, the goats without Brigitte goats. I'm running out of goats here, Shad. Moira goats, Anna goats, Snoats, and boats. Wait, what's boats? Oh, well, you never know. Yes Men are unpredictable. They might bring out some boats. You don't know what's going through their brain.
Boats?
Oh no, Bastion dive.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
Oh, that was such. It was amazing to witness, but horrible to be the target of.
Yeah, it was definitely definitely sad to see. But no. We're getting to it. There's no way they're gonna bring out Pharaoh goats. That's not even a thing. Oh, they're on a tag. I'm getting baited. I get baited too easily. What? No. What's going on here? We're seeing leg suit on a Zenyatta.
Oh, hold up.
Oh,
Make a question.
what's going on? You can't just. These are good mid-tier GM teams, and they just rolled a 4.2k plus team at their spawn, playing someone on an off-roll. On goats. That's not even how things work, but S121 does manage to... And Lexu next! Pukulala again, we saw his amazing hit scan, but now he's going to be hit and scanned off into the spawn room. It's not looking good. Nobcheesy did try to drop his shatter, but it just got de-shattered. As you know how buggy that ultimate is. Odin is trying to just get a last contest, even though the cart hasn't moved at all yet. So I'm not sure what the goal was there. But looking at these ults, and that's the goal of goals. That's the goal. Tell me, who's going to win this next fight?
Oh man, it's been such a long time since I've played those, and even then, when I played those, all I did was press E on Lucio. You didn't really need to do much more. But I will go with my favorite Aegir.
Shatter! Shatter, the right angle shatter. Lexu managed to die. Now the Graviton Surge is being nabbed by Diva Bomb. But the Zenyatta, the Transcendence, tried to do a little bit of help. But no, the Diva Bomb definitely did find value of its own as it managed to blow two brains up. And Guts just getting pummeled near the end. And it looks like Aegir have a hold on really a grip.
No.
A grip of Goats. Now the Diva Bomb is coming through on the payload, but it gets swallowed by Reinhardt's magnificent, mighty big shield. Follow up from here. What's going on? The Goats from Aegir is just so strong. And now they don't have ults to use. It's going to be a different story as Pukulala does have that Graviton Surge online. Whether Esses is going to have the beat or not, I don't think so. Ready for that Grav. What do you think is going to happen here, Shad?
Well,
Tell me the future. You're a prophet.
He really needs to grind that.
Okay, the rally is coming out, the Transcendence is being dropped, and the beat is being plummeted. Pukulala's on the low ground. He's taking a brawl with the enemy Reinhardt, but now the rest of the team is following around. The Graviton Surge is being dropped in Guts, almost dying. He had a near-death experience there, but S121 wasn't so lucky. Now Nob either. Couple headshots of his own onto the head of Furculos, leading to his death. Pukulala with the Graviton Surge coming back. He's trying to get some kills, and he achieves it. There's just a Lucio, as you were saying, Shad, that you did, just holding down the E key, just wiggling his finger in the air on a point, and now he's trying to waddle away. But Lexu, he isn't going to appreciate that, and he's back into his spawn room the good old-fashioned way. Now the Diva Bomb is coming out straight onto the back line. It's not going to find too much. And now the red team's pushing up with that Transcendence. Aegir's looking pretty firm, although they lost to Reinhardt and Brigitta's two core members of this team. And now they're scared. They're scared of Nobcheesy charging into the back line, which is exactly what just happened as Cobra managed to fool. Pukulala is looking for some aggressive play over here on that Zarya. Diva's defense matrix managed to swallow up anything that's being seen. And right there, it was a fire strike. Nobcheesy looking for a bit more build up, but Guts has got the beat. Lexu with the Transcendence, and Odin with the bomb into the back. Lexu did finish off Yeepy. Absolute magnificent play. It's going to be follow up from here. Now there's an alleyway brawl happening over here. I love an alleyway brawl fight scene, and we just saw one, a big German guy pummeling two poor people.
Feels so bad for Cobra. The Diva Bomb landed right next to him, and the poor guy had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that situations like that are so unlucky, but I think we might see another situation coming up soon, and that situation's coming in with a charge, following up, managed to pin Lazy straight onto the lamppost. He's not going to have any mercy with the Transcendence getting dropped on the side of Lexu. Lexu with that strong healing from the Transcendence. It's going to be great for some momentum, and we've seen that momentum follow up with the Graviton Surge. It managed to find a kill on Yi through the Transcendence. The damage is so strong from the side of Yesman, and Yesman are pushing all the way to the spawn. Lexu finding one more kill. Now the rest is just all following together. The puzzle pieces are clicking without the Reinhardt, though they're pretty naked, so they have little shielding apart from a flimsy Brig shield. I think that's going to be too much, but Nobcheesy's back in the fight. Shad, what's going to happen here next?
My Oracle powers are telling it's gonna be an awesome brawl.
Yep, and that's what's breaking out. The rally's being dropped on the side of a gear, and now Knob Cheesy just swinging around. The bomb being dropped, so the yes men are high, but they die. 2 of the supports are gonna fall, and now Legsu next with the flaming fire strike as follow up from here. The very familiar goatee brawl that we normally see, where it's just an overwhelming team fight. Everything happens in a short, compact period of time, and I'm out of breath because of it.
You need to start swimming, man.
Огонь по готовности.
Okay, I heard a ult sound happening, but I also saw
there
some
it is.
kills in the kill feed. Oh, okay, I'd say Knob Cheesy got a bit lucky there, Trade. I think that's a little bit of luck, but the ults are starting to come online for Yes Men, so maybe they can take the strong fight near the end. Guts finding a boop on Odin is definitely going to start swinging the momentum. Oh, never mind, Odin is on Yes Men, so that's not a good thing. That's sad.
Dong, dong, dong.
Yeah, that is the sound that we're hearing.
Gotta say, really good tracking.
Yeah, I gotta say, a really good shatter coming up soon. Knob Cheesy, he's hungry. He's ready to do it. He's just waiting for an opportunity, but he's coming in low, so he's gonna need to do it soon. But the Transcendent gets dropped. He did shatter. I didn't see whether it got any value or not, but Gus finding a boot, finishing blow on the Zarya on the team. It's gonna be pretty massive. Now the rest is follow up from here. I'm lost for words as Yes Men. Oh yes, they are taking this fight in full force fashion. They still got plenty of ultimates online. While Aegir only have that rally coming up next. They're going to be bullying a poor baby, as Yes Men love to do. We've seen it before. We saw Knob Cheesy killing children so many times, and yeah, going for a swim, but he doesn't realize his chunky German armor just doesn't float. I'm sorry, Turbo, but maybe just the German armor isn't built right.
Oh, is this? It's a losing 1v1.
Yeah, this is why I considered Essies for the MVP. Just look at his movements. It's like tick-tock. Very, very nice. He's an absolute ninja. Speaking of ninja, we're not seeing ninjas. We're seeing a raid bot coming in. The Brigitte with that rally is just so strong. The sound barrier coming in is going to protect them. But Guts, he wasn't so lucky. Lexi with the Transcendence is going to be very helpful for the sustain. And they got grabbed even though the Transcendence was still up. And now Knob Cheesy with a shatter. Going to be finding a couple more kills, a couple more follow-up. And now it's into overtime. It's just the last kills from there. Getting the hold. The Aegir did not cap it all the way to the end. So there's faith for Yes Men, although we saw a similar fate on Watchpoint Gibraltar, and it didn't go so well for the good old Yes Men. What do you think is going to happen, Ishad?
Gonna be very bold and say that Aegir are going to lose this one, actually.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, that's super poggers, what I'm seeing and hearing right now. We're seeing these teams go back to the familiar goats. I think we're just getting baited by Odin. Don't get too excited. I don't think that that the Doomfist will be coming up. I don't know. Tell me more, Shad. What do you think is going to happen? What's your predictions? Just all the informations.
Gonna say that the teams are gonna have fun. They're gonna do some stupid stuff. For example, spawn camping.
Goodbye.
Do you, that was kind of mean last time. So I think they're going for some revenge. The charge coming up straight away. They're not gonna kill. It's a super glitchy ability, as I'm sure FDD has complained about many times. People are falling straight away, but it spawns just right next door. I don't think Yes Men are too bothered about this initial hold, and they've done it themselves. They know how to play against it, and they're treating it quite smartly, playing on the high ground. Fire strikes coming in. Knob Cheesy's looking for a hungry kill. He does get charged, but the charge does get cancelled Now the rest of the wall is starting to break out. Any trade here is good value. Nobcheesy killing Lazy is massive. He's got a long walk to go next, and Yipri dying as well is pretty huge. Not to mention Odin managing to find, oh, not Odin, but S121 finding that finishing blow on Cobra. Now Pooplala just landing a final punch on the ball. Meditative Monk's skull. Pushing up the payload here. The ult economy on both teams are looking somewhat equal, apart from the Transcendence, which I believe Esses will be getting first along with that Graviton Surge. So it's looking pretty good, pretty happy. The side of again, I was saying that, Diva 1-on-1, but Nobcheesy falling is massive. Without the Reinhardt, without that front line, it's going to be super hard in the ball stage, which I believe Aegir is trying to force right here. Now all abilities are being popped, and poor Lexu, he's been caught out of position.
Lexu.
He just got bullied. He got bitten by the snake that is Cobra.
Well, they say you shouldn't piss against the electric fence.
What? They say that?
What do you expect is gonna happen? You're gonna get electrocuted if you do that.
Not if you stay at a distance. Okay, moving in. The Lucio is coming in. He's got that speed boost, but the Diva Bomb is being dropped.
Oh my goodness!
Did not quite get a kill, but that was fun to watch, to say the least. Legs on the high ground with no damage. Now for Roxless, he's almost going to lose his mech. There we go, he lost his mech. The Graviton Surge coming in, did not quite find any values, but there is the fat values, the beat. The Sand Barrier was dropping a huge shatter for follow-up by Nobcheesy in an off angle. Well, that is absolutely massive. This is the gameplay you want to see from a GM team. This is the mighty strength that you expect from a Reinhardt player. This is what you want to see from the main tank in GOATS, is a strong shatter to follow up.
To read my
Now Yipri looking for a quick dip in the river, because why not?
I mean, it's getting really heated.
Yeah, I think he wants to charge one off the map, as he's done before. Fire strikes are starting to get thrown on in, and with the position that Yes Men have got, they've got quite a chunk of space. Lexu pushing that car, something you don't expect him to do, as he likes to play a bit more aggressively normally, a bit more Jonaki style. And now the ball at the top is going to be taking place. The value to get dropped from Lazy, so it's giving them a stronger advantage, as we're seeing now two members. Instant loss in GOAT. As soon as two members die, even one, the rest is gonna follow up on. So Shad, what do you think is gonna happen for the next fight?
The next fight, I would say that the Yes Men have a really good shot. They have more orbital line than Aegir, so I feel like they are gonna take it a couple 100 meters more.
Yeah,
As long as they don't keep missing like that.
He just shattered into a Transcendence though, and now everything is breaking out. Two Graviton Surge being dropped, and the Diva Bombs are both corresponding with each other. No! Oh, no, Cheesy charge, and that's gonna cost him his life, along with the Zenyatta, and the rest of the fight is just gonna fall on from there. You can't lose a fight which you invest so heavily in. So many ultimates were used, and it was just all charged away by the big chunky man that is Nobcheesy.
Chunky.
Very. Oh, follow up from there.
Oh, that's a nasty pick on a Pukulala.
Nasty indeed. It's evil. It's filthy.
Deliciously filthy.
Deliciously filthy. Yes.
I said you'll have to say that.
But is it delicious if it's super filthy? 10-second rule, 10-second rule. But speaking of 10 seconds, we're seeing that rally come. 10 seconds. Both rallies from each team are corresponding, but the shatter from Nobcheesy is coming online very shortly, which he's super eager to use. I'm sure. And there it is, finding 4 people on the floor. Nobcheesy's going to be swinging away with that big fat chunky hammer of his, crushing the skulls of all the children that oppose him. And now Grumpy Llama is going to fall as well at the end. And just a final stagger. Final couple of kills. Although Pukulala does die, it's not going to affect them too much, as they are going to be capping that last bit. Unless there's some ridiculous recontest. Wait, what? There is some ridiculous recontest going on. What's going on here? Cobra does fall, but that's not... Transcendence being dropped. It's very interesting. It's gonna be hard fighting with 2 transcendents up, but don't worry, they are gone. Yipri with that shatter does manage to miss everything completely, which is extremely hard to do, but the Diva Bomb, now that is a hard ultimate to pull off, and we just saw it in action, taking 2 out of the fight of Yes Men. With 0.2 meters on the point, it was destined to be capped, and now Aegir have lost so many resources going into the next push, and Yes Men didn't really lose too many.
But another shatter and a graviton, and also Baby's almost online. Very good situation for the S-Men.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
there
a
it
good
is.
situation indeed. A very good situation as that shatter does get dropped, taking out Cobra and the Reinhardt. Now the beat following through for the engage. They're trying to take up the space. They're trying to allow Legsu to get the final cap. And with this strong ball, it's looking extremely good. The rally's online on the side of Aegir, but it's not going to be too much. It's going to be one recontest, I'm sure. And here it is. Here it's happening. We're seeing the Graviton Surge get popped off from Aegir, and it's not going to translate to too many kills. Lexu did die. Now Pukadal, now Nob Cheesy, and unfortunately, Yes Men could not get it in that one push, but they got 1 minute and 10 seconds to go.
And plenty of ultimates to play with. I feel like they are going to take this.
Yeah.
And they are gonna get that one piece of the cake that has the iron written all over it.
Yeah, and we see that shatter online. Yet again, he's hungry to press the button, the Graviton Surge though. And there it is, the 180 shatter. I don't expect anything less from Nobshizi as the follow-up is coming through. That's 2 supports out of the lineup from Aegir. It's going to be super hard. As I said, the 2 kills is all you need to follow on up. Even though Yes Men didn't take a single round of the actual video game, they managed to in goats. And
Maybe
as a
it was
wise man
destiny.
likes to say, Alfie loves to say, let's go, just go goats. And, you know, it's them just going goats. And there's a shatter to show off for it. And, it shows that, that they are the superior tank and support team, maybe. I think that's, safe to say. Maybe it's just that their DPS don't translate, to tanks and supports, that easily. I don't know. What do you think, Shad?
Could you repeat that? I was lagging out real bad because that match was so good it sent my computer to the outer space.
That happens to the best of us. I was just gonna ask. I forgot. I have 0 clue what I asked you. Like, not one. My memory has just got Thanos snapped. I got no clue whatsoever. But what I do have a clue about is it was a phenomenal match. We got more in stock. I believe soon we will be doing the MVPs, where you guys in chat will be able to vote for it. So that's exciting, guys. You know, there's people in chat. I see Alfie in chat. I see members from the good old sandwich in chat, and now that there's the MVP vote, come on guys, put in your votes. I'm seeing some people get the votes. I see 3 votes for Lexu, 3 votes for Yip3, and 1 on Cheesy and 1 on Farkloss. It's I don't know, it's interesting to see these coming in. I think well, I mean, your vote was for Legsu, and he is a popular player. He's a great player to say the least. We saw phenomenal performance on him on the goats, but oh, I was gonna try to say that someone else here is better than. I'm struggling to think, but these other 3 contenders are phenomenal. Shad, who do you think is gonna take it? Who do you think deserves it? Because I think Lexi might take it, but who do you think deserves it? That's the
I
better
feel
question.
like Pukulala deserves it because
He's not
he
even up
was-
there. Oh,
he's not there. That's a crime.
Turbo scuffed. Turbo, you're a bot.
Because Pukulala was the sole carrier of most of the matches, especially in King's Row. It was he who who led to victory and led to the downfall. I feel like he may be more valuable than Lexu.
Okay, Tabo. Gee.
That just comes with the Shad effect. But on another note, we have our winner.
Lexu. I just got a coffee.
Congratulations!
Yeah, I mean, I think it was well deserved. Some phenomenal
Of course, it was
off-hand
the well
play.
deserved.
And we saw that Zenyatta come out, as I mentioned before, on the GOATs, which led to that GOATs victory, in my personal opinion. So well done to you, Legsu. And of course, well done to everybody else that played in this match. Great job to Aegir for taking the cake, for taking the dub, for taking the win. And of course, great job to the phenomenal, yes, men who did phenomenally. But Shad, to my knowledge, soon we'll be moving on to a break. But let's hype this up quick. So Shad, you're in the main team, and it's the academy team playing. Tell us why this is the match to watch.
Oh. As a member of the Sandwich Tops the Discord server, I have not really followed the success of our daughter team, but I know that FDD is heavily involved in the training of the team, and FDD is a phenomenal captain and a coach.
Okay, I haven't heard the same about his Reinhardt play, but it's glad to hear that he's a phenomenal coach, and that's gonna be super interesting. I mean, I know a bit about the Brainstorm main team. I believe I've played against them before. They didn't do too well, but this academy team is a whole different team. It's a whole different situation, and it's a whole different match, and it's against a whole different team. It's gonna be one to watch, Shad. It's
Especially
gonna be one to
for
watch.
that today is gonna be the day that the FDD, the Mister, I'll charge alone myself.
You can't leave
will-
that. You can't leave that. You can't leave that. Shad. You can't leave that. Shad. You can't leak that. Shad. You can't leak that. So sorry, guys. Shad almost leaked something, which is an extremely good reason for you guys to stick around. Let's just say it involves FDD, and let's just say it's something extremely exciting, something that the fans want. So guys, you know, me and Shad have been your casters for today. Later on today, you will have FDD and Kirk casting for you guys. So that's going to be a complete and utter treat. The captain of the Sandwich main team, and of course Kirk, a phenomenal player himself and a great caster. So I hope you guys do stick around. I've been Duck, and Shad, do your bit of the outro.
It's I, the lad, the legend, the Shad, and I thank you that you have stuck around. One and only.
And
Hello.
we're back. So, what teams do we have playing with us today, FDD?
We have my own team, the Sandwich Academy, and we also have the team led by Little Blitz from the Brainstorm organization, Brainstorm Silver to Gold.
Right. So, as I'm aware, this is going to be a low plat scrim, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed.
You can see some good stuff coming out from that sort of skill rank. I've seen really good plays. It's just not as common as in the higher ranks as sort of expected because the mechanics aren't as consistent. But it's still very strong gameplay, especially with good team synergy, which I can't wait to see. I don't know how new these teams are or how long they've been playing together, but hopefully both teams will be putting their best into it. So, what about you, FTD? How are you
Uh,
feeling about this matchup?
I'm feeling pretty confident in my team here. Shappy is very, very good. Kipak's an excellent main tank. Jurian is probably one of the best DPS in GGU. Weirdo is a very, very, very potent Genji one trick, and even being a one trick, he's shown that he's very good. Moomis is a
On
very
other
good
roles, Genji
on
one trick's capable to play more than one thing, which is
Genji one
not
trick's
Genji.
capable. Genji
Wow.
one trick's capable, man. Like,
I wish I was that capable, FTD.
yeah,
I just roll out into comp and I'm like, I'm losing, so I might as well just go
losing.
Genji, and then no longer losing, which is quite nice. So there's always that to fall on.
Weirdo's definitely proven himself as a Genji. He wants to progress as Genji. The only thing that's really holding him back is the fact that he only knows how to play said Genji. And like Tin Horn's also very,
That
very good Ana.
that is a problem though when specializing in a hero does allow you to excel in that hero, but when you find yourself in these higher skill ratings, it makes it so much harder to learn other heroes. Like for example, I got Master's Peak in the Genji meta, but then I wanted to learn Echo and Tracer for this meta, and I dropped a hard like 200 SR. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
quite punishable. When you're trying to learn other heroes, and
Weirdo's
yeah,
Widow's definitely
that's
very good. And I've told him like in my coaching sessions and with my coach as well. We've all been telling him he has the level to easily probably get diamond on Genji. But the meta just doesn't allow him to get to diamond because Genji just isn't very powerful anymore.
Yeah,
And
that's one of the things though. Like meta is very dependent, and the current meta is so scuffed.
the current
Like what
meta is very
comp meta and scrim meta is so different, and it's so painful to like see it because you want to go into comp to practice for scrims and that, but the
it's
meta
just
is
not
like a
the time.
completely different set because there's not enough coordination for you to get good value out of the double bubble. So that's why Hog is so much preferred because you don't need the coordination to actually perform it,
This is
and the
where
Hog is just like a solo play, isn't he?
I've found my team with the Sandwich Academy as well, is that they're starting to get about to the teamwork where they are no longer running. I've told them they're not allowed to play Hog unless the coach says so, because they definitely can run a goat. They can run a Winston Zarya here. Okay, and Brainstorm is also a very good team, Nika, because they're
Yeah.
very, very potent. They've got a lot of very good players. Like one of them came to my tryouts, and he definitely had the level to be able to fight the academy. Yeah,
Yeah, we could.
we're gonna
I
meet.
mean, it should be a good game. That's what I'm sure.
Oh
Um,
yes,
so we are looking for.
and Nepal,
I
and
believe we're
Nepal,
playing on Nepal. Nepal.
Nepal.
That's gonna be
Very interesting indeed,
very
because
interesting. Yeah, I reckon. See, there's quite a few ways you can play Nepal. Like the
there's
maps types are very sort of different, but I think double bubble becomes quite supreme on most out
uh,
of 2 of the 3 maps. I think it's village where you can get away with like a cheeky Symmetra May and
I
play
think
point.
you're more mistaken on that one here, Kirk. Is that I've showed these players of Academy how powerful ball can be on the Pole Sanctum.
Oh
Knowing
no.
I am a bit of a Nepal Sanctum one trick with
Yes,
all
I've seen your ball on the Sanctum, man.
the, the
It's
Sanctum one,
something else.
the
It's something else,
Sanctum
that's for sure.
combos. It works. There's a lot. Like the thing is with
It
control
works,
is
but it only works to the failure of the opposing team being
Like,
aware of it.
you
As
have
soon
to-
as they become aware of it, it becomes a very ineffective strategy.
Another, once again, people don't ever really get aware. I don't know how it is in your ranks, Kirk, but like at least in these sorts of levels, you can definitely run a ball for like in the entirety of the map without an issue. For example, hiding
Right.
outside on Sanctum, hiding inside and waiting for them to come to point, because you like really what you really want on ball here on this first map is if it's Sanctum, it's you must get the point. If you get the point, you are set up for the entire match.
My only problem with the ball pick though, FTD, is the fact that Sombra is meta. Sombra Tracer, double bubble, and that's meta with a brig. And that brig and the Sombra is very dominant. You know what I mean? In
It's very
shutting out
powerful,
a ball.
indeed.
It's very good at shutting out a ball, which is my only problem with that, with the whole ball setup. But I believe we are about to go into the map right about now.
Yeah, it's going to be. We shall see. Because also, as you said, Kirk, it's very powerful in very powerful in high elos. Sombra's very strong there, but in these sorts of elos where Sombra's not really a very played hero, she's not really known for her power, because people just think Sombra doesn't do enough damage to kill someone. She's useless. That's where
I think that's
where
where
we're
the
gonna see her.
oversight is, though. FTD is the fact that Sombra isn't the
Traveling
biggest
to
damage
Nepal.
dealer. No, but you play her very much
She's a
for her
team-
utility.
She's
her
a team-based hero.
Yeah, because she's very good at scouting for the double bubble dive. You know, actually getting the dive in. She's
Setting
very
up.
good at scouting. She's very good at setting up. She's got an extremely
Prepare
powerful
for
ultimate.
battle.
The only reason she hasn't been
Select
meta
your hero.
in other sort of setups, in other comps, is the fact that you've had so much CC and so many other heroes with higher damage potential. But out here in these sort of double bubble,
Ready for
it's not about the
battle.
damage, it's about the focus fire.
Oh, and we're seeing from the Sandwich Academy here, we're starting to see something I despise myself because it's Roadhog, but they're running the competitive meta composition here. Weirdo, of course, on
I-
Genji.
I don't know how I feel about the Genji or the Junkrat picks. You know,
Ah,
like
yeah.
I've been saying, you know, Sombra and
5,
Tracer are both
4,
very capable.
3,
Genji does slot in there
2,
along with an Echo.
1.
Hit scans,
Round 1.
generally you can play
Capture
most of
the
them, so I'm
objective.
quite alright
Yeah.
to Kree in the Ash, but Genji and Junkrat, they're interesting
Right.
variants.
Brainstorm definitely have a worked comp here. You can see that they know what they want to do. We're currently seeing Weirdos starting on the flank here, looking to go around them from the looks. Like, just
The only
looking for.
problem is though, if he wants to go for the dive potential, he's doing it alone because he's got no dive
Oh.
follow up, so he's
Dash.
isolating himself.
First dash going in, Weirdo getting jumped by the monkey here.
Is now active.
This is where
yeah,
you want to
I'm-
start seeing the
I'm-
counter punish from the hog here, but there's
Yeah,
not
the
enough
hog-
focus fire.
There's no focus fire, but they're playing a more defensive-based composition, trying to get that pick from looks. Winston jumping straight to point here. They're Brainstorm taking a point directly here. Very early into the fight, they have taken this point. It is theirs. This does not
See,
look
that's
good for
the
Sandwich.
problem with the hog comp, is that you're playing for the hook, and unless he gets a hook, you know, there's no value in it.
There's no value. And
But we
we're
did see
seeing
an early
Shappy
pick.
getting a pick on the top. Oh, and that's an Ash pick onto the Ash. Another pick from the hog hook. Jurian deciding he does not want this enemy team on its point, killing 3. And that is
Now-
the end.
Now you see that you've got the red team over here with 20%. That's a full fight worth of percentage here. So Brainstorm have 20% on the point already, which is crucial. And you're seeing the Sandwich Academy actually having a good autonomy. They're
Yeah.
gonna have the Nano Blade coming up for this
They're
fight, which should
the
hopefully
prime
win
combo
the
here
fight
is
for
going to
them.
be the Nano. They're looking for the Nano Blade. Oh, here comes the Nano! Nano Blade going in, killing the Lucio, killing 3! Oh my god!
You
4 kills
couldn't
coming
want-
in from Weirdo.
You couldn't want a better performance than that, could you?
Ah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the only problem
a-
I have with that is the fact that they used a whole hog on top of that, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, Brainstorm were unable to get the sound barrier out in time to save anyone.
They've wasted their sound barrier here. Now Brainstorm are in a very bad position.
Sandwich Academy on the
Hook
front
coming in.
and the early
First
peak.
pick going for Kirpak. Kirpak killing the Lucio fan. This is looking.
Готовности.
Grab coming in from Strappy. And that is just the
That
end for them.
Anthony, I don't know if you saw that, but that was a solid 3-man anti
Very.
in that grab. shutting out any possibility of sustaining the team there. And now they're struggling to kill an Ana, which is quite ironic seeing as they're demolishing the team
They are
fight.
demolishing them. Clearly we're seeing Academy here have definitely they're showing that they know they want this point. They want to show who's boss here.
The problem with Brainstorm is they're playing too defensive.
The Winston angry. Weirdo going down to the Ash here. And that's another pick coming in from Brainstorm onto Jurian by the Lucio. This is looking
Brainstorm are
pretty
finally
good.
doing what they've
Killing
been
the
wanting to do
Junkrat.
all match.
But is it going to be enough, Kirk? This is not looking good even now.
It could
The
go
Hog getting a
either
hook on.
way.
This could go either way. Hog coming out from Kipak. That's two people that are 1 hour 1 HP. Nano going on to Kipak as well.
They're gonna get a 99% at least. They're gonna get a minimum of 90%.
They're getting this down. They're getting this down. This is looking very bad. And that's all the picks coming in from Weirdo and Julian. And that is the first fight for the Sandwich Academy.
You couldn't ask for anything more from the Sandwich Academy, but from the
Definitely.
side of Brainstorm, I feel like they're really sort of missing out on the aggressive side. They're playing awfully passive and in the poke phase for too long, which means that they're not getting into the actual, like, you know, mid-fight. They want to be in the brawl section, right? They don't want to be in the poke. They don't have enough poke for it. They want to be getting the Winston into the
Definitely.
fight and starting to fight. Because, you know, if you're not isolating a target and focus firing it, that composition just doesn't work. And that's why the Hog works so efficiently there.
The fact is here definitely in this team, for example, in the tournament, in the match before, this wouldn't have been as much of an issue. But the communications isn't as good in the lower ranks, and it hurts the dive. The dive composition works so well because of communication.
Yeah,
And
it's heavily
what we're
dependent
seeing
on it,
here
and
is
we're seeing.
we're seeing a brawl comp with a Zen here. Very interesting. And a May. This is very interesting indeed. Moomis getting the first pick onto the Zarya very early. This is bad. This is bad. Kipak getting the pick onto the Winston. Oh.
I mean,
They
the Sandwich
are
Academy
winning
are
through.
running off meta, but because they're
This-
performing it
they're
efficiently
very well.
and as it's supposed to be ran, you know, they're finding the value of it. They're
They
actually
know
getting
how they
the,
want to run their comp.
Exactly, they're hitting these May walls and they're actually hitting the focus fire with the Discord orb, which allows them to actually get these early picks in these
This is-
fights. And they've forced Brainstorm off of their double bubble and onto a double shield setup. with
Double
Sigma
shield?
Ryan.
And as
I don't know how I
you
feel
know,
about that. I don't know
don't-
how I feel about that. I think honestly, Sandwich Academy has the advantage here just with their composition lineup,
Oh,
especially with the May.
Kipak. It's Kipak looking for that sneaky shatter right here. Kipak holding that front line down. Even double jump. The Ryan going down. There goes the McCree. This is looking bad. Shaffy unfortunately getting taken down. But the rest of them, the Sandwich Academy, are just saying no to them.
Sandwich Academy is being very good with their ultimates as well here. They're not overusing, which is what I love to see. You know,
Oh,
they've
indeed.
overused only one ultimate, which I would say is when they use the Nano Blade. They've got their mate playing quite aggressive here, ready for an early wall to try and focus fire. Hopefully the Reinhardt, and then they're able to get a shatter, but they're not noticing the high ground rotation. This could be, you know, quite detrimental to the
Rebound.
May.
I feel like
Lucio
also
getting
the
picked
ult
off.
economy here by Sandwich Academy is much more powerful. Like, you can see
That's
the
because
ultimate
they've won the
come in.
first two fights quite dominantly.
They've won 2 fights, and it's making them so good. Kipak might be looking for a Shari. 2 picks coming, Shappy taking down the Rhine. Zenyatta taking down Lucio there. This is really good gameplay. Julian headshotting the McCree. Julian just killing 2 that
I
fight.
would not like to
This
be
is-
Brainstorm, I'll tell you that. FPV.
Brainstorm are not liking this match here. They are not liking these DPS. Like,
I think the problem comes from the fact that Sandwich Artists, you know, the academy team,
Academy, yes.
they've got so much, they got such a big
Synergy.
ult advantage. So
They-
every time
this
they're
is gonna be
coming into a fight, Brainstorm are having to fight their way into.
oh, Weirdo looking for a sneaky mail. That's a big mail there. That's High Noon coming out. That's 2 picks. Kipak taking down Ryan. Julian taking down Genji. Oh yeah. We're seeing just how powerful. Nano going onto the right here. Reinhardt not too sure who to target, but just taking down the Lucio. And that seems to be the first match going for the Sandwich Academy.
The Sandwich Academy just seems so dominant there in every aspect, if you ask me. Their team
Oh, indeed.
compositions, they walked out of spawn with a strong composition, knowing how to play it, and knowing,
Play of
exactly
the game.
who they should be playing, and they all know what their individual roles should be.
Oh, and we're going to see that Blade again from Weirdo. What happened here, Kurt? What did he do
He
to them?
just got the Lucio early with the slash dash,
got
and
him
that's all
so
he
early.
needed to do. As soon as he got rid of that sound barrier as a threat, that becomes a free blade for the rest. And he had another 5 seconds.
Epic.
And we've seen Weirdo. Like, you can see Weirdo as well. With that legendary, with his 67% kill participation here, we can see that his,
It was a
his damage
dominant.
numbers is very, very, like...
Just
That's
like
a
you're
DPS
saying,
player.
FTD, we had that very dominant Genji gameplay. I'd like to see the Brainstorm team start to like counterplay it. I mean, they're trying to run this double bubble situation, which should, in theory, just
They're running-
prevent Genji from existing. But they're not playing
Genji.
it properly, and they're not playing it aggressively enough. So you're seeing not enough communication coming out from that team. I don't know what the communication, the comms are, but they're not quite there, if you ask me.
I feel like from my team's experience as well, because we've been recently experimenting with this new meta of Winston Zarya, and what I feel like is that here Brainstorm didn't really know what to target. They knew they had what the composition of the academy here was, but they just never targeted anyone. They were just like trying to prepare their punch, but they just wouldn't ever punch, and it was definitely hurting them.
Yeah, understandable. So I just don't quite know. Brainstorm, if they're running this double bubble situation, they really need to start trying to like they need to prevent the Ana from getting any healing into the Reinhardt, and that's when they need to then punish the Reinhardt, because you'll have an extreme lack of healing. And it looks like we're going to be going into King's Row now.
Row, very interesting. So Kirk, as you've seen by the Sandwich Academy here, I feel like they know how to run a brawl, but I don't know about Brainstorm. What are they going to do? Are they going to try and mirror and play brawl themselves, or would you try and a Winston Zarya here?
I would personally, I think a brawl situation is probably going to be quite dominant, especially in lower ranks, because to run the meta at the appropriate level, especially something like dive, you need a little bit of game knowledge of how to actually play it. And that's where the lower teams sort of struggle with them. So they quite like to default team compositions such as Brawl. And that's where Brawl becomes quite strong. It's quite easy to play. It's very effective. And it gets you the value you need. You know what I mean?
Kirk, on attack here, would you have done, as you know, historically this map's known to be a very good Widow first pick map. Would you say that the Widow here would work really well? Because, for example, Jurian is definitely a very good Widow player. I've seen him in game. Do you think he's going to go onto the Widow, or is he going to swap otherwise?
Well, it's always good to try it for a pick. Most teams don't peak, but it comes down to like what we're wanting. Because if you want to play with the Widow, it just means that you've got one less brawl element, if you know what I mean.
How much if the Widow kills something here, would it? If the Widow is there, is that going to scare the enemy team? Is what I'm thinking. Oh
no. I personally think in a brawl situation, if she gets the pick, that's brilliant. She should then swap onto the brawl and just completely dominate and try and snowball.
And we're saying
sticking onto the Widow, it's like extremely high risk, and I don't know if it's got enough value to it. It obviously depends on the confidence and on the players.
Oh, so Kirk, what I'm seeing here is the Sandwich Academy are running the exact same composition as last game. They're running the Mercy instead of running the Zen. They're running the Mercy. Do you think that's the pocket the Ash here?
It could pocket either of the DPS, because you can give the Genji a damage boost in the Nano Blade, and that becomes a one slice, which makes it easier to kill the Lucio. It also one slices the Mei and the Kree, and it makes it really easy to kill the tanks as well. So I mean, obviously that becomes a really easy element. They aren't really playing for the brawl aspect. I would like to see maybe a Lucio, because without it, it means that their tanks become very vulnerable. But that's sort of where the Brainstorm are going to have their only advantage.
And we're seeing here from Brainstorm, Kirk. We're seeing the Mei McCree come out. I remember this composition running in quite a long time ago, this used to be the best composition for King's Row. Oh my god, the anti-nade going in! Oh my god, that is a very big anti-nade coming out from Tin Horn here. The fire going out. Kipak unfortunately fall into the McCree here. This could be very dangerous here for the Sandwich Academy.
That anti-nade was exactly what we wanted.
That was a very big fire strike deflect there by Weirdo. And we're seeing Brainstorm pushing, walling off the Zarya. Weirdo getting the pick onto the Rhine. Chappie going down to the McCree. And already a Moira ultimate coming out here. Very, very early. The Rhine's coming back though. Is he going to push this? No. The Rhine's going to back out. They are going to jump ship hit. Tin Horn getting a pick onto Lucio. And is this going to look like a recontest go? They are recontesting this. They're going to fight for the end. Academy do not want to lose this point. Clearly, Weirdo going to pick onto the McCree. Oh
I mean, if you're alive, you might as well recontest it, or
just
you
fight
for the
it.
early hold. But you know, it's more beneficial if you actually play.
Shatter going out from Chappie in. That's 3. Kipak, that's 4 shattered, and that is just the end.
That was an extremely good recontest from the Sandwich Academy. I mean, that was so good with the Nano and the Valk and the Blade. It all came together. It seems like a slight overuse in ultimate, but if you think about it, you're going to use a Bob early next fight, or you're going to use the Grab to farm more ults. It'll probably even out unless Brainstorm used the advantage they have with their ultimate.
You know what scares me here, Kirk? It's the fact that Juta definitely has his main ultimate here, and that thing is dangerous. That can end an entire team's career. And we're seeing the Graviton coming out from Chappie. We're going to pick Kipak falling. High Noon coming out from Tanjiro. Another Coalescence coming out. Massive grenade and a boot. Oh my god. What was that?
It's almost as if they're listening in to our communication, FDD. I mean, they're literally saying everything that they're doing everything that I'm saying to just such perfection. And because they've used these ultimates so early, they've been able to use you know, they've been able to farm these ultimates. They've been able to farm these key ultimates to get them back online. The Blade's almost online. They're gonna have that again for this fight.
They're gonna have that Nano soon from the looks as well. You guys can have a shot. I think that this fight, the Mail's gonna come out, and so is the Shatter. During get a very early pick onto the right. The Blade coming out from Weirdo without a Nano though. Killing 1, killing 2, killing 2, killing 3 from Weirdo there. So.
That's everything. That's
all I need.
They're gonna have the Nano. They're gonna have the Nano for the Rhine for the next fight.
And we
need to see Brainstorm use this.
Use their ultimate.
The Blizzard.
They've had this Lucio and this May ultimate for 3 fights now. They need to start. They need to like actually press Q a couple of times here, clearly. And
they're just holding on to these ultimates. And if they hold on to it, they're never going to win the fight. They need to throw it in and try and kill the Reinhardt.
Here comes the V. Here comes the Mayo. Here comes the Shatter. Shatter doesn't get much value from Kipak here, but this is not looking good.
They all just play on point.
Oh, they're playing the point here, and that's Academy. Tin Horn touches the point. Weirdo and Chappie though going to town on Blitz.
FDD, all they had to do was shoot the Anna, and they would have capped the point.
They would have capped, but they just forgot about her. Anna just went sneaky in there and just saved the game clearly for
Anna. The awareness there from Tin Horn was saved.
Weirdo pulling out the blade. Bubbles coming out though. That's 2, and that's the end. 4. That is the end of the defense for the Sandwich Academy.
Are playing too defensive. They've got this lovely rush composition, and they've got the ult advantage, and they put themselves on the back foot by playing extremely slow. If they hard commit to point with a wall and speed boost, they are going to win the fight. I could tell you that for free, FDD. They'd be winning every single fight if they just went and committed on point.
Kirk, what I'm feeling like is that they're scared. They're scared to use their ultimates here. They're not using anything. They see someone get picked off and they just back out. That like they don't even try to fight them, even if they're missing one person. If you ask me, it's not the best idea.
Vancouver Titans, you know, if you're down 1, if that person didn't have a crucial ultimate, I mean, when you're still running a Blizzard in your hand, you know what I mean?
They've had the Blizzard all this time and just never used it. They used it once the entire match, even though they could have easily.
It's such a good ultimate as well, because if you just drop your wall behind the Reinhardt and throw your Blizzard in, you know, all you have to do is wait for the bubble. All you have to do is wait for the friendly bubble, the Rein's frozen, and that's a free fight because he's dead. If
And
if
like
the Reinhardt's dead in these compositions, they're missing the key element of
they're
the whole.
missing the brawl of the brawl.
They're
And what we're
missing
seeing,
brawl. That's
what
exactly
I'm
what I was
saying,
trying to say.
From Brainstorm here is a very weird composition. They're trying to run. They're running like a brawl style composition, but they're running a
They're running
Sigma
a
with
high
it.
sustain. I think they're trying to play this high sustain brawl.
Are they trying to
them-
maybe keep away from Weirdo's Genji? Maybe that could be what they're trying to look for.
The
And
immortality
Tyrion
field
trying to
is
get the
not
Widow.
an advice strategy, though, if you ask me.
The immortality will clearly not keep a Genji like Weirdo at bay here.
Especially
And we're seeing
if you
Weirdo on the
draft
early
late.
flank. Tin Hawk going down very early though. Weirdo is not in a good spot. Kipak looking to try and escape here because this is not good. He can't shield his team here, and he's unable to do anything here. Brian,
I mean, the front foot is in the favor of Brainstorm at the moment, but now the Sandwich
Now they're
Academy
fine.
have all their respawns and they're going to re-engage into the
oh
backline.
no, that's. But like, we're seeing they're attacking anyway, even without ultimates. They just won without any They didn't use any ultimates. 5v6. Like they killed 4 that fight there. And
comes-
just
it
look,
comes
Jurin
down
hit
to-
shot in and
It
just
comes down to
flushes
the
it.
actual intent. Like, the Sandwich artist intended to start that fight and follow through. I mean, the Genji dying, it's not a key element. If you're missing your Reinhardt, that's
Are they
when you
looking
make
for a
the difference.
recontest here? Could they
have
try
to,
and...
FPD. If they can't
They
recontest,
have to,
then
but
they
I
have
don't
to.
think they can have time, Ko. And that is just a loss there. A second map victory for Sandwich Academy there. And if you ask me, Ko, like this is a perfect example of 2 complete opposite teams. One of them isn't scared of pushing, yet the other one is just scared of pushing at all. And we're seeing another play from Weirdo here. Weirdo clearly cleaning up that play of the game where
I
he's
think-
trying to get
I
a
think
highlight
his
reel.
Genji is just getting a lot of value, but it's getting so much value, but it shouldn't be getting value, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god! And we're seeing Weirdo here. Weirdo has just not didn't die.
It just doesn't die.
He just didn't die at all. He died once the entire match, and that
I
was
mean,
when
I want to see this double bubble getting played and getting performed properly because it is such a
it
good
is such a
composition.
powerful comp.
But
It's
it does
even
come down to team's performance of it because if you do misplay any element of it, it becomes extremely weak and you don't get the value from it.
yeah, indeed.
So
Like the
don't
problem
know.
is the double bubble here, especially at these lower ranks, like this this is around a 2,500 SR play match here. And like what I'm seeing is, and this is after my experience myself, like even at 2,700, I can't run a good double bubble as instead. Like I've seen people playing Overwatch League, but it's just not very easy to run at these lower elos where the communication just isn't there.
It does come down to your main tank and your DPS. They're the 2 that need to be very vocal in this composition. Ideally, everyone is vocal, but they're the 2 most
They're the
important.
main. They're the
Because
main
your
piece of the puzzle.
DPS, they're going to be scouting, and then you're going to have your tank obviously calling the final play or whatever. So that's sort of what we need to be seeing. We need to sort of see either the double bubble being played or from Brainstorm. I think they just need to strip it back to basics and start actually playing the game.
I'm feeling like as well. This is very interesting because, for example, Brainstorm is clearly very. They know what they're doing. They've played as a team before, but they're just not really like they're not committed. If they lose one of their, it's like a puzzle. If they lose one piece of it, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to leave it. And
Yeah, it's very.
very
It's not. They're not playing as advised or to the strengths of the teams. They're playing these great team comps. Their team comps they're running out with are good, but they're just not. They're not performing it, and that's where their flaws are coming through. Like they have that Blizzard, and they hold it
they
for
just
3
didn't
fights.
use it. They
They
don't
held it for
use
3 fights.
ultimates.
So that's sort of where they're getting punished. They need to really be. We need to be seeing them
We need
proactively
to
using
see them
ultimates.
push. We need to see
'Cause
them
if they're
like
not-
actually,
If
as
they're
you
not
said, Karen.
proactive, then we're gonna start to see more problems like this.
Like I feel like the problem fundamentally is their ultimate usage and the fact they don't use any. Like as anyone that's played Overwatch will know that if you put 6 ultimates in a fight, there's little chance you lose. But the
They
thing
have to
is,
be
Sandwich
performed
Academy
properly,
are
though.
rotating so many ultimates so fast compared to Brainstorm that they're able to just win the fights on 1 or 2 ultimates, and Brainstorm just aren't using 1 or 2 to counter. They need to start using their ultimates proactively instead of just
Yep.
using them. Using them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely the strength of the Sandwich Academy. They're actually being proactive and they're actually playing for the space and the ultimate fights. Whereas, like we're saying, the Brainstorm are just playing so defensive and slow. And we're going to be moving on to
To Numbani.
Numbani.
Now this map is going to be very, very. I feel like this is going to be a very one-sided map for Brainstorm because Sandwich Academy are using these Brawl Star compositions, but are they going to work on a map where Dive is probably one of the most powerful compositions on it, especially on the first point where the defense is like there's a lot of high grounds on this map, Kirkus.
Well, as we've been seeing the Brainstorm. We've seen Brainstorm actually walking out with the double bubble, so maybe they're actually really confident on the double bubble, but they've just sort of been getting shut out by
But
the
just
Sandwich Academy actually just playing well. But
they're
maybe
playing
in a dive preferred map, they'll
they
actually
might
perform it. So
like
it'd be interesting to see what's happening.
especially Kirkus, as you've seen on the Pulse Sanctum, for example, they weren't looking. They couldn't actually push because, in my experience, the dive composition like this. Okay, good. Let's finish. Like we need to you need to think of it like this, guy. This is a high grounds map. This is going to be a very
Yeah.
strong map for them, I think, because they're going to be able to get their pushes going and everything.
I would like to see Brainstorm come out of their shells and start to play more proactive. Because if they keep playing this defensive, whatever they're playing, because everything they've played extremely defensive, even in a rushdown brawl situation. That's literally the one composition where you have to play aggressive just to get any form of value, and they just keep playing too defensive, in my opinion. So if we start to see a bit more proactive, we can actually see what their DPS are capable of and how their tanks actually play. Because if their tanks are playing in good positions and playing proactive enough, then we will start to see the DPS shine a little bit more, as well as like our Zarya is getting some good value. Tinhorn,
Here,
he's been hitting some fat nades.
them nades, them anti nades that he's been hitting all this, the
I've
entire game, he's been just carrying with these anti nades there. Just anti-ing 1 or 2 is already big, but he is anti-ing 4 or 5 at times, as we saw last map. He antied an entire team at one point, just randomly, and
Yeah,
it's what
and
makes him
that's the
better.
strength of Anna. That's why Anna is the current meta hero. And we are going to go into a small break just
Right.
before we jump into map 3 here.
Yeah, we shall see you then.
We'll see.
I'm with.
Alrighty, and we are
And we're
back from the
back.
break,
Back.
and we're
back
going
to,
into Nbani.
and
Like
we're
we're
back.
saying, dive dominant. We should be seeing some dive coming through, hopefully from both
Definitely.
teams. At least on point one. Point one is so high orientated. I'd be upset if I saw no dive.
I feel like it's
How about
gonna
you,
be a
FPD?
dive. I feel like definitely there's gonna be dive coming out from possibly both teams. I'm hoping also that my academy also try and play dive because they haven't really found out what's been working in the current meta because we haven't really recently had any scrims with them. So I'm hoping that
Right.
their coach gives them the info on how to play it and when to play it, especially on this map. Because this is
Yeah,
a
it
big map
really,
for them.
it really does come down to awareness of the composition. Because if you don't know how to play it, then you're gonna find you're not getting enough value. And if you're not getting enough value, you could be playing something else.
Yeah, of course. This is
So
where that's where like the line draws, especially these lower tier matches, is that you can if you run a composition better, even if it's not very optimized, you need to be able to have the best composition that works the best for you. It's
Yeah.
not about which one works the best on that map.
right,
And we're moving into Nambani here.
Initiating
right,
match.
and we're in, and I'm not saying these are final compositions.
I'm
I
hoping so myself with Weirdo on the Bastion here.
Bastion defense with a double bubble.
Yeah. This is gonna
Ready
Not
for
what I
battle.
would call ideal,
is-
at least.
And like we're seeing from Brainstorm, this is a very weird composition code. They're running Sigma Diva? What is this? Are they trying to run a singular shield with their Ashe with maybe? And then like having
Sigma Diva. Ugh,
I feel like maybe the Diva and the Genji might dive together and only them.
I just don't feel like Diva provides the same effect that a Winston provides.
Oh, yeah.
Winston can break a whole line of sight from supports, and
Yeah.
we're actually
feel like-
seeing this Bastion maybe coming out.
I'm
I'd love
gonna
to see
die
it.
that
I'd
one.
love to see it.
Oh, maybe
Double
it's
bubble.
possible.
Three,
We
two,
Double
no,
bubble
we're
Genji.
seeing the Genji. We're seeing the Genji. Double bubble Genji. I like this guy. I don't know
We're
about
seeing the
you.
win
It's gonna be
conditions
some
coming
good
through. You got
Overwatch.
the Ashe with the pocket, which can just win any fight if she hits a headshot. And we're
Any
seeing the
headshot.
Nano Blade. And that's what we want to see.
The only
Coming
issue
from
I feel like
Brainstorm have the Damage Boost Blade, which does a similar thing. But it just doesn't have the same sharpness as
and we're seeing
I remember.
Genji and Diva in their backline in Academy's backline. Like they're just there, but they're getting jumped, and that's the Genji falling very early. Diva coming out of the mecha, and that's already 2 picks for the Sandwich Academy
that's
here.
the counter
Yeah,
dive
that
that you're
is-
sort of looking for at this
This
situation.
is bad for them. The Winston jumping onto the back pair. Back team's trying to jump away, just not able to hop away from the opposing team. Tinon getting a pick onto the back row, and Julian killing 2 this fight.
As much
Shappy
as
just
I was
jumping
saying-
around.
As much as I'll say play more reactive,
They might have got a
proactive,
bit too proactive here, if you ask me.
they might have jumped the gun there. I mean, at the end of the day, they are still defending, and they weren't.
Yeah, they shouldn't have
They
been in
weren't,
their
they
back
weren't
line.
engaging on a backline which was left alone. They're engaging on a full team of 6, and
They-
that was
they
their
timed
problem there.
I feel like what happened to Brainstorm here with their Diva and their Genjis, they tried jumping, but didn't quite know that the others were there still. I feel like they didn't quite have they didn't have the knowledge of where the rest of the team was, and tried jumping the Ashe
And
randomly.
that's where scouting comes
That's
in.
a shot going into the back here. Julian killing, just wiping the floor. The
This
DPS
steamroll
there.
coming out from Sandwich Academy.
Julian set another pick onto the Mercy here. This
It's
is
just
this
clean
is
up from
violent.
here, FPD. I want
Julian killing Sigma, killing the buff as well. That's 3 picks already. This is mad. And that is
What a
just-
carry.
we're
What a
seeing
car.
the DPS are definitely carrying this match almost. I'd say. Like this is I wouldn't like to say DPS difference, but there is a difference in
We're now looking at a
the
massive
frame
ult
of
advantage for
players.
the Sandwich Academy, and we've seen how proactive they can be with their
And
ultimate. We're gonna see this Nano Blade coming out on this fight, I reckon. Securing the fight with the Winston dropping from the high ground, which is a lovely position from him.
and we're seeing oh
And there
that's
was
the
not
point
even a
going down.
contest. There was
5
no
minutes
contest.
40 on the Barney Kirk. What is this?
One
Are
of the
they
biggest
going for the world
fights I've
record?
seen.
Are they going for the world record
They
of how long?
swapped it- No, FDD, Brainstorm have swapped the double shield. I don't
Oh,
think they've read the
no.
patch notes. They've not read
They-
the patch notes, FTD.
They don't know.
The Nano
Someone
Blade's
give
gonna
them.
come out. We're seeing this right now.
Nanoblade coming out now. Nanoblade. The Immortality coming very early here. But Widow gets to pick onto the Mercy. Then gets to pick onto the Sigma as well. And that is just. Oh, and that was a deflect.
And this
That is
payload
wrong.
hasn't stopped moving, FTD. I don't even think
Jurian,
that Brainstorm have
Jurian.
contested the point.
If you ask me, Julian's Bob is the MVP. He just popped Bob in there, back line, killed 3, and there's not even a contest.
Complete.
4 minutes 57 on Numbani, Kirk. What is
The problem-
this?
Score.
The problem I had with Brainstorm there was,
3.
as much as they
They
gave
were-
up, second point, they should have played much more aggressive
Initiating
on holding
match.
third. They should have played that corner really aggressive. Therefore,
like-
if they lost a fight, they would have been able to actually recontest. But because they gave so much space and allowed the cart to keep moving, they weren't able to recontest that, which meant they were absolutely obliterated with an extremely big time bank of just
I
under
feel like-
5 minutes.
I feel like the issue here fundamentally for Brainstorm here is these guys were trying to run a monkey Zarya.
Ready for battle.
And I would even run that composition on defense, but they're trying to run compositions that don't work anymore, Kirk. Double shield, due to the recent Overwatch patch, is basically rendered useless.
Sigma is still actually quite good.
Sigma is
at what
still
it
very
does,
powerful.
But it's the
but
Orisa element
Orisa-
becomes very... She's no longer good at what she does, and what she does, she pulls.
It's very limited. And she's not good at what she does. Even if you spend the time to learn how the pool works now, they're just not they wouldn't just get the value out of it. Clearly, and
just not
especially
the
as you
same.
said,
5.
playing aggressive here would on the third point was that they had to do it.
1.
And they just stuck to a very passive comp, and I feel like that just was their downfall.
Do what I say, and this'll go.
And this is
I mean,
looking.
for me, the Sandwich Academy, they didn't even...
Weapon system.
I don't feel like they had to do a lot in the tank line to make space. There's always space for the DPS, which is quite nice, but it doesn't
Oh,
allow...
that's a shotgun. Duta getting revenge on Tajurian.
The only thing is, though, we're not seeing any good tank gameplay because they're not actually having...
They're not
to-
really. It's the DPS, it's the damage dealers here that both Jurian and Widow here definitely carrying this match. Winston going trying to attack the Ana, but just why is the Winston jumping on his own here? He won't get any value. It's where this is where Brainstorm have kind of not understood how their composition should work here, I think. Because they're not running anything to dive with the Winston. The Winston is just jumping in on his own. Maybe charge the only real value from that is to charge the Zarya and maybe annoy the Ana. And that's a shot going out from June onto Ruby very early in the fight. Rest coming out from not Raw, but
I mean,
that's already a res.
seeing
That's
the
already a
ult advantage
resurrection going on.
already starting to stack
Oh
up.
yes, of course.
And this
You
is-
can.
We can't have this. I mean, Brainstorm, they have to be... They've got to be farming these ultimates. Otherwise,
get
they're going
these
to be on the back
ultimates
foot
soon.
all game.
And you can see, like, well, wait, that's a massive anti-nade coming out from Tinhorn. That's 3 anti-naded there. And Widow just
Another
goes
bad
to
one.
town in the back line. Just decided, nope, you guys are out of my fight, get out of here.
I mean, if
Nah.
we look at the ult
Jurian's
trackers
killed
here now,
3 as well. You can
FTD,
see
we're
that.
seeing Jurian with practically a bulb, which is 25% more than
Than
Brainstorm. We're seeing Chappie with, you know, a primal, that's 20% more. You know, we're seeing
Oh,
Weirdo
yeah.
with a blade, that's 60% more than his counterpart, which is the Reaper.
Like,
The
even,
ultimates are heavily in the favor of Sandwich Academy, and they're just probably gonna nano blade this fight when Tinhorn eventually gets it.
and I'm feeling like as well here in this occasion. I feel like that's a pick going out from June. Like, why is the Winston position down here? And the Nanoblade coming out very early. That's gonna get some damage. That's killing 2. Both tanks going down. 2 Widow's big sword. And now the Mercy's alone here and just this is what I'm seeing. What I feel like is happening here, Kirk, is Weirdo is he's like a Reinhardt. He's playing his Genji like a Rein. He's trying to take the space away to let his other DPS counterpart, Jurian, just
I feel like
wipe
a
the
big
floor with
problem
them.
for Brainstorm though, FD, is the fact they keep going into this high ground. They need to be going through main and trying to find a dive onto the
And they
Sana with a proper dive. But they're not committing any resources into a dive and they're
They're
playing
only
a very
committing-
split comp.
The pro-
Their comp
Another
should
problem
be
I
playing
have.
the dive and stopping the Santa from actually getting it.
Tipback going down. Tipback getting the pick onto Ruby very early here, and that is not sounding good. Winter going down to Ash though. The both monkeys are very angry here, and we're seeing the Zarya backed into a wall by Shinstill, and that's another pick coming out from Durin in their back line at this point, and that's due to taking him back down. He does
We might
not
see
like
Brainstorm
people in
actually
talent.
taking the objective here.
I'm not
They use
sure.
the ultimates proactively.
Because
They've
if
got
you
the
look,
Death
Tipback,
Blossom and the Bob. You can throw Bob on point, bait the sleep out. You know, Bubble is a Bob.
but
I mean,
also, Kirk, what we're seeing is that here they've got the Graviton. They just use the Graviton and they just take and win the fight. The Reaper coming very fast, getting a pick onto Moomis. Tipback getting a pick onto Jincho here. The Graviton coming out from Tipback.
and it was a panic
Three in a row.
rather than one.
Panic.
Sights
And Ayo and Brainstorm are using all their ultimates. All their ultimates have come out.
Brainstorm
Like-
capping the point. This is the furthest they have got in a game so far. They've actually
But-
managed to cap the objective, and they're starting to progress into point 2. This is better, but
I
it's
feel
not
like
ideal.
the issue is as well, quickly, Kirk, is that look how many ultimates Brainstorm have used here. They only have halfway to a Mercy ultimate here and a Primal. And what I'm seeing is that Widow has his blade soon, and Tino's gonna have that Nano. That's just gonna
I
be an
mean-
instant fight.
From Brainstorm, you've got to use your ult to win the fight. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're gonna hold them for the next game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
If you
of
need
course.
it to win the fight, then you've got to use it. But I just feel like it's not. It's not.
The
a
ult
fun-
economy, the ultimate economy here is definitely very one-sided towards
It has
Sandwich
been
Academy.
since first fight FTD.
It's
been
always-
since first.
It's the issue here with Brainstorm is they're not getting, as you've said countless times now, okay? The ultimates just aren't coming through, and that's a headshot onto the Reaper by Jurian here. Tanjiro
I
going down
mean,
very
you
early.
can't farm ult charge when you're
That's
in
it.
the spawn room FTD. You just
Oh,
can't.
indeed. And Jurian sending them to that spawn room. The Nanoblade coming out in the backline. We're gonna pick onto the Ash there. Going for the Zarya. Gets the Zarya. That's 2. Is he gonna get down that Mercy? That Mercy going to spawn would finish the fight for him. And unfortunately, he goes down for it. But that's
he
not
does
the
get
issue.
res. That's
He's got
fine.
a
That's not a
Mercy.
problem.
But I don't think he's gonna escape this cut. I feel like he's in a bad spot. But his team just saves him. Saves him with the resurrection,
What I
with
really
the
want to
bubbles,
see
with the support.
from what I want to see from Brainstorm for instance, is I want to see him play really aggressive and cut off the
Oh.
healing lanes.
He's
So
can't.
far, he's not playing aggressive enough.
He's looking for a jump, I feel like, with his rage here. He's gonna have his primal rage. And one angry monkey in the back line. It's a monkey you don't like in your back line. And what we're seeing here is that the rage coming out very early by Chinchil here. Targeting their back line. Tanjiro getting a pick onto Chappie here. Really good pick. Window coming out. But no one's
That's
really
the power of
abusing
a
the
Reaper
window.
though, FDD. I mean, they picked the Reaper
Just puts the
counter.
monkey down. And that's a bug coming out from Julian, killing 2. Winner getting a pick onto not raw. Julian's almost killed 3 once again.
These
The
grabs
blade.
haven't been very good, if you ask me, but I mean,
Oh,
they
no.
haven't had to be good. They
They
haven't
don't
had
need
to be good.
I feel like Weirdo used his ultimate as a bit. I feel like Weirdo has messed his own team up here by using the blade, thinking he would need it, and that might cost them the entire fight. But no, that is the first and final map for the Sandwich Academy.
I mean, that was quite a clean steamroll. After first map, I probably would have said that, you know, the Sandwich Academy would have won.
Play of
But-
the game.
And
You know,
another play of the game
You've
by
seen
Weirdo.
Stranger Things.
Weirdo
Genji
is
is a Blade bot, and Blade
Oh, he
can
is.
play the game.
and we can see, Kurt, that this blade bot here is just ending them. He does not like the enemy team.
All you have to do is actually get 1 kill with your Blade, and you've won the fight. So, you know, we really want to start. I just wanted to see Brainstorm. I think the problem came from the Winston not quite playing his role right,
And
and
Winston-
because he wasn't playing his role right, he wasn't giving just enough space for his DPS.
It's-
I do think
it-
there was a DPS difference though, FTD. I do think
Oh,
that.
indeed, definitely. Both the DPS are definitely both here. Weirdo and Turin were definitely really much better than I'd say they were better than Brainstorm, but also you got to take into account if, for example, they countered Weirdo, they would have had one of them DPS out of the game here, and that might have. I think they should have tried countering their DPS more instead of they're running these meta compositions, trying to jump the healers, but when they drop the healers, the DPS are just saying no and just killing you off, sending you right back to them that 10-second respawn.
What we need to be seeing from the Winston though is we need to see him playing aggressive enough to shut down the Ana by one, baiting cooldowns, and two, actually physically stopping her from healing. You know,
Oh,
if
and
she can heal through the bubbles, and that's where we're not seeing the value. Is we're not seeing the Winston blocking off the Ana's line of sight. Because if the Ana's line of sight is still there, you're gonna see, you know, the fight going in favor of whoever has more healing. Because it's such little damage, you know, the Ana healing is actually quite a lot to sustain the team. So you know, if you're not playing that Winston properly to shut off the angles, then you know, the punish is coming through.
And like I feel like also what I saw in the match here and from past experience as well is that Jurian has been very Jurian is very, very, very good. I played against him myself and he gave me a run for my money. So he's definitely I wouldn't say he's much better
Doesn't
than
say much
Jurian.
about you though, FTD. You're what, a Diamond
Why?
Peak main tank?
I still managed to 3-0 him. It's fine, Coach. Don't worry.
Okay,
And
FTD.
we seem to be going for a goats map, Kirk, and this is an old meta.
Goats. Are we
Goat.
gonna see Brainstorm come into their comfort zone event finally? I don't think
We-
so. I
I
think we're still gonna see Sandwich Academy with the powerhouse coming through. I
But
mean, we've seen them play more aggressive. We've seen them get more value. We're not seeing, you know, Brainstorm providing anything that a Goats team comp requires to actually function properly. So
I feel, but you got to take into account, Kirk, is that Shurin, if they go goats, Shurin and Weirdo aren't going to be able to play that DPS. That's just definitely more. They definitely better at their DPS counterpart, but how good are they at the tank part? Because
true,
what
because DPS are
happens?
gonna have to rotate onto the
The
tank
DPS are
role.
going to be on the tank role or the support role. I would say probably Jurin might go onto the Zarya. I would see Deuter also on the Zarya because hit scan's very aim dependent, and I would
Break time.
probably see. I would also say probably Weirdo and Tanjiro
Weirdo on the
going onto the support.
Vegeta.
And
Uh,
I feel like Weirdo and Tanjiro are going to be on the more support role. So I'd like to see Weirdo on something like a Zenyatta, maybe, just
it would be
because
nice.
the Zenyatta was a very, very strong part of Goats, and Weirdo is a very loud and active person, so he would be he would be very good in this.
I mean, we need
Um,
to sort of see what map where they're playing on, because you know, if you're seeing like a 2CP like Volskaya, you know, it's very much, you know, you play on the point, and that's what Goats thrives at. It thrives at actually fighting on the objective. So, you know, if we see something like that coming through, that'd be ideal. And we'd
and
start to see the key elements of the actual brawl, because, you know, both teams are forced to actually play on the objective. And I don't know if it's going to be a classic brawl, classic goats, or goats variants are allowed, but I think we're going into a classic goats
I feel
mirror
like we're
match.
going to go classic Goats is going to be clearly a difference between skill rating. And what map would you like to see on this code? I feel like there's certain maps that are very, very good for Goats.
All right, yeah. So I believe we're going to be seeing a 2CP. So there's not actually a lot of 2CPs now that Lunar Colony and Paris are both out of rotation.
And
So
they would do
there's only
historical
Hanamura, there's a Temple of Anubis, and Volskaya Industries. And
And
I think they're the only 3 2CP maps.
I feel like
So
Volskaya would be a very good map for Goats because it's very flat. Hanamura Hanamura is going to be like a more linear type map, and probably the Temple of Anubis would be a very that's a map where they're going to probably have to run a 2 shield system with the Orisa pole.
I think that we are
And
going to see the
we're going to see
classic
Hanamura
goats.
occur. We're going to see
Hanamura.
Hanamura.
Hanamura, that's going to be good. So you're going to see quite an aggressive defense as well as a very aggressive attack, as that is what Goats thrives at. If you're not engaging, then you're going to be disengaging. And if you're disengaging, you're on the back foot. So it comes down to, you know, how the teams play. Like Goats is very reliant on good target focus and good aggression. If you're not aggressive enough, then you're not going to see any value coming through, and that's sort of where the Ghost thrives. The Ghosts thrive when you start to get really into their Reinhardt, get the Discord Orb on him, get the Brigade Bash on him, and just a bit of focus fire. That takes out a Reinhardt in like 0.05 seconds. Like, it's just takes no time at all to kill a Reinhardt with Discord, which is being bashed. And that's where I hope to see both teams actually like performing these high burst combos of damage. Ult game for Goats, it's very sort of, obviously if they're going to be running the classic mirror match, then it's not going to be as
gonna be a
interesting.
very-
Both teams are good. We'll see sort of like who's the better players.
We'll see, definitely. I
based off
feel
the
like
ult charges.
it'll be not so much ult charge. I feel like it's going to be synergy with the tanks and the supports here. It's a very
Reinhardt is
synergized
definitely the most. Reinhardt is
If the
the most
Reinhardt,
important part
if
of
the
it.
Reinhardt plays badly, the entire team's going to play badly, and it's going to just be a chain effect for them.
But then again, you have the Zarya, and if we have the Zarya, then that's what Zarya with high charge with good aim gives you more grabs.
Traveling
Grabs
to
win fights.
Hagora.
Grav bomb,
Yeah.
grav shatter, grav wins, right?
Graph is
If
the
you
win
can
condition in
farm
Go.
grav faster than the defensive ults as well, that's another free fight.
Oh, and we're starting to see here, Shappy, Kipak, and Moomis, all three on their tank on tanks. Jurian coming out on the Zen. I just said probably
Ready
weirdo
for
on Zen because here, if they'd have run the Zen on someone that already knows how to play projectile-based heroes, he might have had a bit less of an issue, even being a one-trick hero, type person.
Typically your hit scan goes to Zarya, and your flex / projectile goes on to the break. So this is the classic sort of rotation of how you would have seen it back in the day.
And we're seeing Juta, as you said, Zarya, he's on Zarya, and then you've got Tanjiro on Lucio. So we're seeing the projectile play projectile, and the hit scan play a more aim-based hero like Zarya, where you need to be able to track that your target. Otherwise, you just won't do anything.
I mean, you are required to track the Reinhardt with the Discord orb, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, true.
it's
a lot
big
easier.
enough. He's big enough.
And now Shappy getting a pick onto Lucio very, very early with that first fire strike.
You need to
Oh
be
my, oh my.
really aggressive here, FPD. You need to be pushing.
They need to push in.
Here and start amp
They need
speed
to
and
go.
get the ult charge. They need the ult charge advantage.
They need this advantage, and they're just not pushing in, even though this is a ghost. They should be going right in there. And we're seeing Jincho go right in, getting the pick onto Tinhon. Go at 3, the shatter, getting Furion.
This
Guys,
is what we
get back.
needed to see from
But now we're
Brainstorm.
seeing Brainstorm have understood. They've listened in on our concept. They know what we wanted to see and what needed to be seen. They've done exactly
Brainstorm.
what they needed to do. And the sneaky Lucio going on to point for that extra little bit of contest. He's just sneaking around, and he's going home, and he's all the way back.
Sandwich Academy, they really needed to punish there. As soon as you get a pick, everything is required in goats for the goats to actually be effective. You need your Zenyatta for your Discord. You need your Lucio for the speed. You need your Brick for the healing, for the for the Inspire.
It's a puzzle.
You
It's
need the
exactly
Brick
like
for
a
the Bash.
puzzle. You can't push in as 5
every
with this
bit.
composition.
You
You
need
can't
every
push in
bit
as
of it.
5. You
And
push
that's
in as 5 is just... And June getting a
another
pick
pick.
onto the brick there! That's the first pick on
See the
him!
aggression. We need to
We're
see
seeing the
how
aggression here. We're not going down though. This is a 5v5. This is anyone's game. The Stride's coming out. The Shatter coming out. Not getting anyone, sadly. But that's still gonna... That's Trance just gave that little bit of aggression they were requiring. But why are they playing so split? There's shots coming out for some reason here, okay? I don't quite understand this one. Because why would... And the Shatter coming out onto Shappy, but he's not going to get any value. They think it's winnable. Both Gravitons coming out here. Not all getting a pick, Cheba getting picked, but Moomis and Kipak are just like, no, you are not allowed to win
Do
it.
clean that up. I mean, we've been seeing the Zen from Sandwich Academy actually just destroying. We've seen him get picks. Like he got a pick on the break first thing that
And
fight. That should
we
be
see-
when we see the speed aggression.
And
You know,
Kurt-
commit one ult, farm the rest, and you're at the ult advantage.
And Kurt,
But
what
we're
I'm
not
saying
seeing
is, look at Shurian's ult charge. He's already at 80%. He's gonna be... if he and Volk's only at 30, so we're seeing a bit of a Zen difference, sadly. And Julian is definitely getting them ultimates much faster, but also we're seeing the tank difference by Brainstorm are getting them tank kills. Looks like Shappy is looking for that sneaky shot. That sneaky shot is showing 3, and that's 3 kills, 4 kills coming out.
Follow up FTD.
Oh my! Oh my! I haven't seen that one in a while, Kirk.
Alright, so we're gonna see
Oh.
Brainstorm hopefully playing aggressive with the sound barrier, getting the shatter and using the shatter. That's their win
And they
condition.
need to get that
Diva
Diva
bomb
bomb
to
out.
follow up as well.
They need to
Like,
use the
at the
Diva bomb
moment-
to annoy them.
At the moment,
Sure.
Sandwich Academy have 0 ultimates. Right? They've
Oh,
got
yeah.
the Lucio beat
No,
now.
they have the
but
brig.
it's not
They have
quite
the
enough.
brig ultimate. They have the brig ultimate coming soon by Weirdo here, and that might also both support ultimates up. It's a very strong thing to have. 2 support outs out of 3. The shatter coming out. Shatters
jump
2.
shatter.
Ruby
The
coming
jump
out though. Jump shatters. Shappy going down to Ruby's bomb here. Jurian kills their Zen. Keep out getting the Rhine down though. This is anyone's game. Brigitte deciding she's the Rhine today and going to kill Jurian.
We're gonna see the 2CP, but I do think we might see a tick coming out for
We
Brainstorm.
might,
But
I don't think so, Kurt. I feel like Shappy's just
Brainstorm's
going
coming in
through
already.
again. He's training through. He does not like these people on this point. He's getting them out of it. Off my point, he's saying right now. I'm sure of it. And we're seeing that Shappy's playing more passive, but there's still Window getting the Zarya down here. And the continued aggression. Rainstorm's Ryan taking down Weirdo, but it's so
you're gonna
much.
have to
one-sided.
teach your boys how to play goats properly because
Oh,
this is painful to watch.
I agree. My guys need to learn this one. Apart from their Diva Bomb Rhine Shatter combos, they've got a lot to learn. Definitely.
They know how
And
to use ultimates,
what is
but they don't
with
know how to play the game.
what is Jurian doing? He's on the flank and he uses his ultimate to run away. Could that be the end?
Decision. It's not the worst decision because, like we were saying, Goats is very much required for everyone to be alive, but he did outposition himself, and that transcendence could be a game changer.
But Rally coming in, Graviton coming out, both Gravitons coming out, the Diva Bomb coming out as well. Not getting anyone. 3 ultimates coming out from Brainstorm here, 2 picks coming out from that. Shinjil and Juta just going to town. The
Brainstorm
bomb not
look like they're
getting
gonna
anyone.
get some good
In fact,
tickets.
getting the pick on the Zarya. Is this still? They might get. I feel like they're gonna get a tick, but will they win the fight? Chatter coming out, killing, shattering, shutting Tanjiro, finish him off. Very good counter
They
charge
need
by
to get a
Shinjiro.
tick at least.
Fury
FTD.
is
Surely
getting
a
a
tick. The focus
Surely
fire has come
not.
through. The
I feel
focus
like
fire
they're
is
not.
there, FTD.
They're not getting this. They're not getting this, Coat.
They didn't
The
even
Rhine
get a
and the
tick,
Brig.
FTD. It was so
The Rhine and the
dominant
Brig.
first fight.
And they're trying their best, but they're not even on point. They just released that. The beat getting booped away, getting near no value here, and they just Rainstorm are throwing ultimates away. They threw that Lucio ultimate away, no usage whatsoever.
The only reason that Brainstorm didn't get a single tick there was because they failed to do any form of target focus on the Brig and the Diva on point.
And that's what I feel like we've been seeing the entire game.
Pressure. That's
I
what
feel
we've
like
been seeing all
that's what
day. That is
All
what
day,
we've been
Kurt,
seeing.
we've been seeing the
comms
lack
aren't
of
there.
comms. The comm difference is definitely there. The Rhine going right in. He doesn't even care. But he's just gonna
What were
die
they
doing
thinking,
that.
FTD?
What
were
is
they
wrong
thinking?
with this man? What is wrong with him? He's crazy. The Diva Bomb coming out in the back. Not really getting any usage here.
Not required. It just comes
The
out to target
Graviton,
focus.
the Zenyatta popping trance. Tito getting the pick onto the Zarya. Shappy killing off the Brig. Tanjiro getting Weirdo down though. This is some aggression coming out from the Sandwich Academy. But
the
they haven't
first
shown
time
it
so
ever.
far.
They haven't seen it. The shot coming out with no value because June's just gonna slap him with an orb.
And that
What
looks
was
like that's gonna be
They're going to
the round.
town. They
That's
could have
gonna
gone
be the
to
round,
spawn here, Kurt. That is the end, if you ask me. They've got ultimates. They've got nothing to worry about. The Graviton coming out, getting no value. And that is round 1 for the Sandwich Academy. 1-0.
FTD. Oh my god. That was
Painful.
something else. I don't know if that was good or bad. Watching that, it's enjoyable to watch. Put it that
It's
way.
enjoyable to watch, but I feel like
It's not clean, but it's enjoyable.
I feel like Chuck as well. What we saw is that the academy kind of woke up on the second point and started actually pushing. They they did what they needed to push on the first
They
point.
did do what we said
they
that
did-
they should
they-
do, and they
I'm
got
sure-
the value from it. But they struggled on point 2. If they started playing more on the objective, they probably would have found more value because, like we're saying, the game is
Ready
oriented
for
around the
battle.
objective. But if you leave the likes of like a Zenyatta on the high ground where he can discord whoever he wants, put in as much damage as he wants, that's sort of where we're seeing the advantage coming through from the
Attackers
defender. So you
incoming
got to
in
take them off the
30
high ground,
seconds.
and you got to do it quickly and cleanly. We saw
the
the
problem-
fight where they got 5 kills. Actually, it was
Just
4
didn't
kills.
win.
They got 4 kills.
4
And
kills
they
and just
failed
didn't
to
win.
focus fire the last 2, which meant that the 2 CP spawns were able to come through, and they couldn't get at least a tick.
The lack of communication, I feel like, from Brainstorm is going to be their first thing to work after this game, because their lack of communication in every single match we've seen all day is just
1.
been lacking, and it's been hurting their their performance is definitely good, but they are lacking that communication that they really
I'd
need.
like to see if the Sandwich Academy.
And we're seeing the tin on getting a pit, but that's 2 pits coming back, and that is 3 pits coming in for Brainstorm, and they are just they have understood
Brainstorm are
that.
playing this a lot better than they were on the
Much
first
more
round.
powerful. Brainstorm seemed to like their defense here. They just went to town. They saw the occasion. They jumped on them, just pounced on top, killed them all. End of. And
That's what you want to see, FTD.
that's what you want to see.
They lost a player, so they are gonna be down. I believe it's their Break, but she is back now. So
And but the Ryan now we're gonna have to see the aggression coming in.
Sandwich Academy.
The academy going in. They are walking in, getting the shatter off, but not getting any value from it. But the difference, the shatter coming out from
It's
Brainstorm.
huge,
That's a
FTD.
huge shatter. Oh my! That's some pits coming in from the shatter.
I don't know what more you could want from that. That was so big,
That
and
was
they even
such a
found
fight.
Zenyatta hiding in the room. Oh,
That was
FTD.
that was so bad. That was such a good shot coming in from
Sandwich
Chinchu.
Academy, they've got the grab.
They
This
have
is
the
their
grab
win
on.
condition. This
That
grab,
is their only
maybe
chance
even
here.
Diva bomb. Combo.
They might try and put the
value.
Diva bomb on top of the Graviton, and that would just end them really. But
They
the
will.
Diva's on the flank. Do they see the Diva? And the Graviton coming out. The Tribe going through. The bomb dropping down though. Pretty bad
Yeah,
bomb.
Reinhardt able to get a shield. That's where the Brigitte
Juicer gets
shield back
2.
come through.
Juicy gets 2. Chappie getting the Zarya down though.
Brainstorm playing too aggressive, losing
Too aggressive.
crucial members.
losing
I think
players,
they might
but
start losing more.
Weirdo losing. They're losing the Lucio as well. This
They're
is
playing too
worse.
aggressive here, and they're not allowing, the
They're not allowing-
They're forgetting how good the academy is, and they're actually they're not playing properly. They've got the picks, but they're not pushing as a
just-
team, and they're not
They're
pushing
pushing
as a
in.
team.
They're pushing in. But they're only coming out. The Ryan getting domed by the entirety of the Sandwich Academy.
Reinhardt needs
The
to
Diva
fall
bomb, no.
for the academy
The
to
shield coming
value.
out. But is he going to have Shatter? Shatter getting
Back down
stunned.
of Shatter.
Back out Shatter. The Trance coming out though. The Graviton as well. Both Gravitons coming out. Weirdo getting the pick onto the Zen. Kipak getting the Rhine. And this looks like the Academy are going to win this fight.
It's a
The Zoriak's
big
got
boy
something to say
skirmish.
about it. They're getting this end down. This is a right match to watch. Chappie and Julian going to town. Chappie killing 3 with his big hammer. And that fight there, Kurt, I think that was the
That
best
was
fight we've seen.
scrappy.
That was. I would say that was probably a good fight because both teams knew they needed to win that fight.
Objective
They knew that if they lost that, they were done for. And that's what we see. Widow kind of sneaking around. Is he looking for information, Kirk, or is he just being a Reddit
I
Lucio?
think he's looking to try and die. I think he's got a death sentence, but he is with this team
He
now.
has a death switch, but we're seeing now the Diva coming out, Cappy pushing upwards, and the Ryan Brigitte and the Ryan pushing in, right in. The Ryan going down. So the Brig, this is bad. This is so bad for Brainstorm. 3 picks coming in, 10 on going to down.
They've got ultimates for the recontest, so
But
as long as they
they
can
only
fight
needed
it off.
pick cuts. They used the trance to try and contest. The Brigitte ultimate coming out from the academy. The Ryan coming in like a train. The bomb coming out.
Missing the point
Killing
completely.
dead.
That right now,
Furious,
I think
get
the
the pick.
objective is going to be a game
A
changer.
very Shatter coming out, getting the Lucio, pinning him dead. Dino killing the Zarya here. Only Ryan left, and that it seems to be the end to me, and that's the end. Another victory for the Sandwich Academy.
Which map was closer? Was it Hanamura Goats or was it Numbani? I
I feel
can't
like
tell.
it's that Hanamura match.
Play of the game.
On the
Honestly,
first point,
Goats, they
the-
played a lot more aggressive, which is what we needed to see.
Огонь по готовности.
And it
And
did
who
pay
would
off like expected.
I feel like also what happened, Kirk, is that what I saw as well is that it was very one-sided past map 1. And what I
Yeah.
feel like, who would you think was the real MVP throughout this entire match? Like, I feel like
Well,
it's
you've got-
debatable between Weirdo, Tinhorn, or maybe Jurian. It's the three that have played the best on the academy. But you
I mean, when
take that into account.
game is so one-sided like that, it's so hard to see what the other team has to offer because
feel-
you did just see a general steamrolling coming through from the Sandwich Academy, you know. So if you see such a steamroll, it's hard to see what like the Brainstorm actually have to offer because we
Yeah.
didn't see a lot of DPS
feel
pop off. We didn't
the
see a lot
tank-
of tank plays. We
in
didn't
the
see a
tank,
lot
I'd
coming
say.
from them.
I feel like
But,
from the tanks as well. Like, I think the more superior tank in both the goats and the normal was probably Chincho. Actually, he was doing very, very well. He had a really good shot. He has done he basically carried with his shatters. His shatters are very, very good, and
they were the
it's
win
showing.
conditions.
But he's the only one that I would say was playing like a
He's the only
professional.
one that was noticeable.
Like, we couldn't notice as well. And like, I feel like also like even the DPS Juto was doing very well in Brainstorm. I wouldn't say as much to Tanjiro because he wasn't really apparent. You couldn't really see anything from him, and that's the issue. We
I
could
still
like
feel like Chincho was one of our
Shinchio
stronger players.
Shinchio
from
was
them.
a very, very good player here, and that's what we saw throughout the day. He's been the best, and I would say definitely the best player in Brainstorm, if not the match. He's the best tank, if not the best player in general. And
I can agree with you there. There's nothing else that I would say.
and like what I'm
I mean,
thinking
that
as
is
well, and I feel like it's very it was very one-sided, as you said, Kirk, and that's a bit of an issue that we saw. Is that since it was so one-sided, we couldn't really see what Brainstorm had to offer to us. And apart from Chinchill, there wasn't really anything that standed out to me. That's where I'd say, um,
yeah, that's sort of where we were heading there. I mean,
yeah,
the MVP.
MVP.
It's hard, I want to congratulate, the Brainstorms for coming through with what I would say is much better gameplay towards the end. It's just too little, too late.
I feel like also what happened, Kirk, is that in general, in the MVP set, as you said, the MVPs, I say, at least from Academy, if at their DPS, I would say did everything that game. They were definitely very good. They were doing. They got the kills. I would say Weirdo was definitely the best at making space, and his Dragon Blades were clearly on a different level. He was definitely playing much better than generally a Genji at that sort of level gets 1 or 2 kills and then just leaves it at that. But he was killing 3 or 4 at times, killing 5. I thought I even saw a 5k at one point. And then you've
Yep.
got Jurian that also puts his bob in, and using that bob
I
just
mean,
makes
he didn't
him
even
so
need
much
the
better.
bob in most fights, did he? He just kept getting the pickoffs with
He just getting the picks with a
the damage
headshot.
boost.
Just
Getting
a
that damage
headshot.
boost was enough for him.
Just the headshots were
So
finishing him off. Clearly.
it's quite unfortunate that Brainstorm got so taken out. I mean,
got-
we did see them start to fight back at the end, which is nice. We needed to see just a little bit more from the DPS because they were getting heavily outplayed. It's kind of hard when you're taking so much damage so often.
But
You
what I
know-
feel like happened this as well, Kirk, is that Brainstorm were in a position where their tanks weren't. The tanks were very good on. Like, the problem is the off tank from Brainstorm there was just not really. The main tank of Brainstorm was making the space, but he didn't have an off tank to play with him, and that lack
Yeah.
of combo just kind of obliterated. And then they had not enough space to be able to take down the other team with the DPS. Like the DPS
Mhm.
were just getting the academy's DPS had so much more space, and that's
It
where
it does
they were a
come
bit
down to
stuck.
that. It
It was
comes down to the communication. I mean, if you have good communication between your players, it doesn't matter if you're mechanically a little bit worse, because
Yeah.
you'll be having that coverage from your tanks and your DPS. Because if your monkey jumps in and you know that the enemy team have a significantly reduced set of healing because the Winston's on the Ana, you can then play really aggressive on their front line, knowing that you have the advantage. But it just comes down to micro communication, just like that. And it's a
I also,
shame that we didn't see it, if you ask me. I mean,
well, I
it's
also
something
feel
so
like,
simple with such a high impact.
and there's a straw poll come out for the MVP votes for the public, and I'd like to see what do you think the public's going to vote between Weirdo, Tinhorn, Chinchil, and Not Raw.
I
I
mean,
would
FTP. I
say
think they should. I think they should vote you for MVP casting.
MVP caster indeed.
MVP caster.
MVP caster.
I mean, we do. It's
I
it is
well,
it is a say it is a shame, like we were saying. I mean, I really wanted Brainstorm to win a map. They
I
were
really wanted brainstorm. The problem was is this match was little bit mismatched, if you ask me. Like
yeah.
I felt like Sandwich Academy, they play at the same level, but Sandwich Academy when they put their head to it on a different level. They are much better. When they
It does.
try their hardest, you can see it.
You do have your own SR, and then you have like the SR you're capable of playing. I mean, every team can put, every team has the chance to just scrim. I could scrim at a 3.3 level, but if I've got good coordination and I'm really trying with my mates and all that, and in my team, you can hit 3.5 really easily. So it comes down
Yeah.
to individuals working together for a really effective team. Like I
I
can
feel
imagine the Sandwich Academy having a really good set of communication.
and like what I feel like what happened with Weirdo as well is that he was playing a Genji that works in a team more than he was playing his Genji as a team player, not as a not as just a
Genji
run
on
of
its
the
own
mill
just doesn't
Genji
work.
player.
Like we know that.
Genji in a team like this, he would be very very good, and you can see like his Genji is he's very strong with it when he puts his mind to it, and when more to the point, if you ask me, when he's got a team that actually can support him. I don't know about you, Kirk, but I know you're a Genji player yourself, and I'm sure you know that Genji on your own is very hard compared to Genji in these sorts of
Yeah.
teams.
I mean, Genji's role in sort of like the double bubble setup anyway is to try and scout and try and deal the damage with the focus fire.
Okay, and that
So
that will be the end of us.
I mean, yeah, so Genji's all about trying to get that focus fire with the main tank because he's the damage dealer. The damage dealer comes from the the damage the damage the damage
And
Jinchil
it
was the
seemed
MVP though.
Chinchilla was the MVP, and I think he deserved it. He was doing he was doing so well with that Reinhardt, and you could see that he was clearly definitely much more better on the tanks. But what made it hard for the academy is that it just isn't. He's just not available. He's just not. It's just not as strong for him. Uh,
It it does
And we're
come down
gonna
to the individuals.
and what I'd like to say thank you to anyone who watched the stream here, and that is going to be the end of our games for today. I hope to see you all next week with our 2 Easy Cup 0 to 3,500 SR. Thank you.
Yep, see you guys.